Welcome there, traveller. Please, take a seat, grab a drink, and enjoy the Sunday session.
No, I don't have it. Hold on. Okay.
Previously on Barovia.
Previously on the Sunday sessions, our heroes managed to escape from the dire clutches of Baron von Strahd and holed up in a mansion away from some witches. I'm not going to talk in this voice. I'm just going to talk normally for the rest of it. I'll just talk normally.
Just be a normal person.
Yeah, they were holed up in a mansion with Irina and some other villagers, hiding from, well, I mean, like witches. They were witches.
The mega witch.
Mega witch with the chicken leg house and everything. It was great. What was her name again? Baba
La Saga.
Baba La Saga. I'm not good with names. Anyway, holding up in the cellar, we managed to sort of barricade ourselves in there and find out that Irina made a deal of some sort with the witches. And on further inspection, the deal was to have a witch baby. Have a witch baby, really. That gave our plucky heroes the idea of organizing a parlay with the witches. We had a very productive conversation with the Baba
La Saga.
Baba La Saga. Thank you. And managed to come to some form of arrangement for the future of Barovia. All it is going to take is a juicening of Gnarlag's warlock powers and Dragon Paladin to compromise on all his morality. And also 1% of the population of babies. So, you know, it's looking good for our heroes. Was that good?
I think they covered everything.
Okay.
Where we left off was two of the people in the room had
Drunk deeply of the broth.
Actually, I believe Irina was one of those as well. So
Yeah.
3 people of that.
She probably shouldn't be drinking that in her condition. You're not allowed to eat bologna while you're pregnant, let alone
The
witch's
witch gave it
brews.
to her, and the witch gave her the baby, so you probably would think...
Probably got all kinds of witch nutrients in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
A
Well,
little,
no,
bit of
that's
frog, a
fair.
little bit of eye of newt, a little bit of leg of frog.
What was
A
the
little bit of
percentage
rest of
you
newt.
wanted of the kids?
Sorry?
What was the percentage?
It went from, what did I say? 10%,
It went from 10% down to 1%.
Okay. You know, that's actually better than the coronavirus.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's it. That's it for coronavirus jokes for today. We're done with them.
Are
That
you
was it.
sure about that?
Yes, I'm very sure. And that was one of the like numerical things we sort of figured out is that 1% of the people taking 1% of the people like that is less than what they're getting now. They kill more than 1% of the people now. So,
Which, given that there aren't many witches, is like
There are several covens.
several covens. They're also witches. What do you know?
yeah, but like
I gotta eat a baby every day.
that's like a full-time job.
Imagine how productive they'll be when they don't have to like be running around stealing children all the time. Imagine the industry.
Imagine the production level of flying monkeys. You like that one, do you?
That was good. I like that.
Baba Yaga brand home style witches brew.
Start treading on Gnarlag's territory.
Yeah, it turns out in a couple of years they actually go legit and they stop killing because they realize that they can make so much like
Yeah.
more magic and get more power just by doing legitimate businesses.
That's the future we're forging right now.
Yeah, well,
This is the bold tomorrow that we envisage here
Yeah.
at the Sunday sessions.
Isn't that basically what
The
happened with the
Chamber of-
Salvation Army?
yeah. Well, the Chamber of Commerce now sponsoring a coven of witches.
Yeah.
So, Salvation Army. Okay.
So that was the thing. The text of the deal was they get a 1% of the baby's tribute per year. They get Gnarlag's juices. Mm-hmm. And God damn it, how can I not keep a name in my head? Irina becomes king after all this is settled. That was the deal.
Or queen, depending on how you look at it.
Maybe they want to be a king.
She becomes ruler.
Yeah.
I like her being a lady king. Wearing pants. No? Just me? All right.
The whole Joan of Arc thing.
And yeah, we all
end well.
we both drank the brew, sealing the deal, and it was handed to you, and that's where we left last time.
And you have been milling that over for
Moments.
just sheer moments, definitely not 2 weeks.
I drink it.
Yeah.
Just prestidigitate some like trumpets going off.
Sad confetti cannon.
So has signed the Treaty of Tolerance.
You couldn't have added some fucking gravitas or anything to that, you miserable shit.
No.
2 fucking weeks I've been sitting on that one.
Tenderhooks.
You're gonna love the new hooks that you can get into Gnarlag.
Okay. The Babala Saga sort of is looking you in the eye and just like, watching you with like a cocked eyebrow. Like, huh. I must admit I was intrigued on how you would land on this one. But the deal, and just grabbing the bowl back off you, is made. And pours the remnants back into that that
Oh no,
pot.
I drank the whole thing.
Oh, you just go.
Fucking necked it.
The deal is most definitely made. He just like runs her finger around the outside, just gets a little bit more of the leavings, and like, I'm gonna hate listening to that again when I'm going back and recording. I'm gonna hate every little bit of it.
You deserve it.
Yeah, I did put this whole next bit out.
Now,
Well. Now, I suppose time for the first of the payments.
Pants off.
Do the
don't wanna-
do the no pants dance.
Snaps on a rubber glove.
I don't know. Nitrile glove.
That's on the glove. It's like, this will only hurt a little if your god hates you.
Which one?
But she waves a hand over the top of the bubbling cauldron in the middle, and it just vanishes out of existence, including the small fire that's sort of sitting over it. Why are you nodding? You're nodding like, that makes sense. Yeah, 100%. That's not a weird thing to happen.
No, like I was confused as if you meant like the liquid in the cauldron or just the cold cauldron
The
itself.
whole cauldron is like gone. It's there. It's then sort of translucent, and then it's gone.
Fucking mathemagical.
Mathematical. Left in its wake is a small sort of raised up area. You can sort of make out this would probably be her sleeping area. It is a sort of just a sort of a rough cot on the floor. There are several sort of animal skins stitched together to make a rough blanket. And she's like signaling for you to lay down.
Oh god. What was the voice I was doing last session? It was a bit more.
It was the bard from
Yes, a little bit more refined.
yes.
I'd appreciate some privacy from you all. Thank you. Ulrich, Wick.
Oh no,
Please.
no! They're probably going to be required for this ceremony.
Oh dear.
It's okay. It's like not like you have anything we haven't seen before.
There's
I will.
quite a lot you
What the fuck is that?
This ceremony will require witnesses and attendants.
Oh dear.
This is not a
Very well.
two-party game, so to speak.
No, it goes and sits down. Well,
lies
lies
down.
down.
A bag's the Scotty dog. It's a Monopoly
A
reference.
Monopoly reference,
Right.
yeah. Then she pulls on a thimble.
I give him like a stick or something to hold, like to bite onto.
I
gonna be
take
hard-
the
it's
stick.
gonna
I
be
don't
hard
necessarily
when
hold
you-
it in my mouth.
When you don't have a mouth.
Yes, it is.
So you lay down?
Yeah.
Yep. She sort of waves her hands over the top, basically not touching you or anything, just sort of maybe about a foot or so over. She's quite hunched over at this point, just like waving a hand over it, and your whole body on this bed just like raises up. Up to the point.
Stiff as a board.
Yes, basically that. And you are hovering about 3 odd feet off the ground at this point, on this pretty foul-smelling bedspread. And you've encountered some pretty foul-smelling bedspreads.
Not like
Created some.
He gross. I mean, he does actively work with sulfur and stuff. So
Yeah, there's probably some sulfur in there somewhere. There is definitely some essence of sulfur. Like maybe she eats a lot of eggs in bed. I don't know. It's got some. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
That's okay.
I'm just putting it out there.
Evocative.
So some people eat crackers and leave crumbs. Other people eat eggs and leave sulfury farts. So sorry.
Hey, you should be apologizing to the listeners.
I was. All right. I need you to remove both your gloves.
He already removed them.
I thought you only did one, but okay. And yeah, those 2 mouths in your hands with a long sort of forked tongue lashing about. They're like wide, toothy, like sharpened teeth, sort of more to them. It's not a grin, but it's stretched into almost. You could almost call it. It's not a smile, but it's definitely.
It looks like it could be a smile, but it's definitely not.
If you squint your eyes a little bit and turn the other way, yeah, it's probably a smile.
They just start talking mad shit.
Oh, I imagine. And she looks over to Ulrich and then looks over to Wick and is like, "My boys, this is where you come in. I need you to I need you to hold down your comrade here, especially his arms. He's not going to like this, and by him I mean, as he's pointing at both the hands, him."
Oh, good.
Do you want me to just sit on him?
Just hold his shoulder or his upper arm. Just make sure that those hands are not going to get up towards, well, me. As it's going to take. This is going to take a little while, so be ready. And she turns over to Irina and my dear, I suggest maybe.
Not giving birth right now.
Just
Cross your legs.
Close the gates.
even if you want to wait outside, this is going to be quite the show.
Go outside, have a smoke.
Yes, definitely smoke with that baby.
Don't do that. Well, it might help with the birth weight.
It's a witch baby. It's fine. They work differently.
Okay, so if each of you can go up and give me a strength check.
Oh, good.
Am I technically assisting them?
You're not resisting currently.
I got an 11.
Would a command spell work on him?
If I can not resist it? Yeah, if I have the option to
You
just...
can try. If you want to throw something in, any sort of form of restraint you think you can put in here.
So command is, you speak one word to a creature.
Mm-hmm.
It only lasts for like a round, though, right?
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, fair enough.
You can do it.
You can save it for when he's about to spaz out.
Yeah, I might save it then, yeah.
There's a power of Christ compels you. Whack.
We need an old priest and a young priest.
In short of that, one witch.
One witch, one pally, and a rogue.
Actually, hold person's probably better, but that lasts up to a minute, so I'll leave that again till like the last.
Yeah, I think a lot of these might be reactionary, less preparation based.
Yeah.
Remember the story of someone casting a hold person on someone that was in midair? And they were like, oh, it's gonna, like, just hold them in midair, right?
No.
Just will stop them being able to brace themselves when they land, so face plant.
Yep.
Fun.
They potentially take less injury, because if you're not... A lot of the injuries you get is from you, like...
Yeah, but it
Really depends on what you land on.
I
Yeah.
always thought hold person was more just like magic paralysis. Like, you literally just like...
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like, you could just go completely limp.
Now, athletics check or strength?
Just a strength check, please.
Okay. I got to 15.
15, and then 11, was it?
An 11.
All right. Now, hold them good and tight. And she goes over to a desk, and it's just like busies herself over. You hear the sound of like clinking glass bottles. And she comes over, and she's got like these large, like sort of mason jar looking things, but they're like a little bit grimy on the inside. She sort of like just spits in one and just wipes it with a bit of a sleeve, so places one of those. We're talking like a big ass pickle jar, and just drops that like just below where your hand is on the floor. Gets another one, which is a little bit more like a milking pail, and takes it over to the other hand, and just like drops it down on the ground there.
One of the hands just goes, "Your mother sucks cocks in hell."
Ah, I get that reference. She goes back over to that same bench and just starts busying herself around, and comes along with a lot more smaller little vials. These are sort of the ones that you'd be more familiar with putting like healing potions and so forth in. They're small, easily stoppered, but just basically like single dosage units. And she starts just like racking them up, just lining them up around all around the ground around this hovering bed. Next thing, she goes over to what you would assume is the equivalent of a kitchen sink, and you just hear this sort of rattling of metals, and she just walks over with the gnarliest looking butcher's knife.
Oh, goody.
My boy, I suggest you bite down on something.
Your tongue. That's right there.
I mean, I gave him a twig.
Twig.
And she's like,
Or
as
stick.
you gets that stick, and she's like, open wide.
Ollie bites down on it.
I also suggest maybe closing your eyes or looking away. This may pinch a little. And she walks over to Wick's side.
It's my side.
It is. Are you looking away?
No.
Nope. All right. You might have to hang on for dear life, because she walks over and she just sort of pats you on the shoulder a little bit, just like, it's just, you definitely want to hang on nice and tight here.
Okay.
This is going to be
Just lay down on the arm.
eventful.
I start making small talk. So how you going?
What you thinking about for Christmas?
Yeah.
Doing the whole thing you do to kids when they're about to have a needle.
The hand that you're currently holding on to going, I hate this. I hate this so much.
I hate every bit of this. It sucks. Fuck you, Ryan. Who's Ryan?
Do you want a lollipop?
Okay, where is your attention currently?
On the arm that Baba Lysaga is currently looking at.
Okay, what you see is she raises this knife over the top of her head and then brings it down in a single hacking motion.
So she's chopping my hands off.
Well, one of them.
Okay.
I'm going to assume you're going to give a bit of a resistance to this one here. So this one here will be a grappling check with you trying to avoid, you trying to
Is
hold
this
it down.
a strength or athletics?
It'll be an athletics check.
Cool.
And you'll get advantage because you're already sort of there ready to go.
Is this going to be more of a constitution check to see if I am flinching or...
No, this is a grapple. This is you're going to try and pull your hand away. So this is trying to break a grapple.
I got a 20.
I got 12 on athletics.
Whoa there! Here, settle down. Settle down, mate. It'll be alright. This is my weak
You
voice.
feel just fire through your wrist. It is at the very wrist, and you hear just this solid, wet sound as something lands inside glass. You can't see the end of your hand currently, but
I know it's not there.
it's you've got enough idea of that is an X hand.
I really want someone to pick it up and start going, stop slapping yourself. Stop slapping yourself. Ugh.
Does the hand revert back to changeling base?
You can't
Turns
see.
into a little Gnarlag.
With its own set of hands.
It's infinite hands.
We're getting very Evil Dead here. I'm liking it.
That's where my brain went. It's a little Gnarlag. I'm like, it's either going to be Hamburger Helper or little Ash. What?
I don't know what hamburger helper is.
It's a thing you can buy in the US to help make hamburgers. It's got the mascot. It's like a gloved hand.
Okay.
That's all I know of it.
It's cool.
Is he telling the truth?
No.
Okay.
He knows more than he's saying.
I doubt that.
Okay.
I mean, I certainly don't.
Wick, where are you looking? Because you currently sort of like, you basically like dived your whole chest and everything, like holding them down. You facing towards Gnarlag's face, or
No, I'm looking at the hand. I'm looking at the stump and the hand.
okay? So you're looking at your recently Jamie Lannister friend. There is just a spray of just like bright red blood that's just going basically like that sprays out, and like this is going to get a little Tarantino-esque, but there is just like a single line of like splatter across the far wall.
Also, there's going to be a lot of feet references.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm on his left side, right?
His left, yes.
Yes. Okay.
I basically got you set up as we are sitting in the room.
Cool.
So
That's what I figured.
if he lays directly down, you're on his left
I'm like, you're right-handed right now, Ag?
Oh, right. I've got telepathy. Ah! Sorry for the levels there.
no, it works. I can just fix that in post.
Yeah.
Just turn the fucking volume down for down to 10%, and it'll still be blow out of your drums. Right. You hear the sound of sort of liquid pouring into glass, and it's not a trickle. It's a reasonable flow. And you also hear the sound of, it sounds like a recently caught fish flopping around on the dock.
That doesn't normally happen when you chop off someone's hand.
And
I
it's like-
assume.
God damn it, stop the bleeding.
What do you do?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I'll put pressure on the arm. Try and staunch.
Roll me medicine.
No.
That is
6.
You sort of blood's coming out. Oh god! And it's just trying to bear hug the top of his arm, and this is just squeezes another little pump of blood out. But it's you see as you squeeze tight, just another bit, just a little gush of comes out, and you hear that sort of splash. And
I think it's impressive that you didn't take any damage.
We shall see.
let's just face it, damage as a number is not really going to be relevant in this encounter, this scene.
No.
Damage as an actual number that we roll dice for is not really representative of what's
you
going
either
on.
survive or you don't. There's no in between.
That said, can you roll me a Constitution save, please?
That is an 18 plus 6 plus 3.
Biting down. Oh yeah, because you still got his. Oh yeah. Biting down on this stick, you hear the sound of a couple of your teeth literally crack in your mouth. Just you're biting down so hard that this timber is compressed, and you feel a molar just break in 3 fragments.
It's so hard to grow molars.
But gritting through this pain, you stay awake.
On the bright side, you don't have a weird mouth on your hand anymore.
Well, it's not technically your hand, so he's right. In your mind, you hear Dave's voice.
Hey there, boys.
Because I believe he was still back in town.
I sent him to go off to the Don.
You did. You hear him just boss, what's going on? What? I'm not that far away in this. This is.
I mean, like,
Are you still there?
I mean, he was doing that thing where like he was hopping in and out of communication range.
Yep.
I don't know. I think at this point, Gnarlag would just be putting up like all the psychic defenses.
Yep.
Like unless he can't stop Dave from bypassing that, then
So you basically hear Dave's voice pop in as like checking in on you, and then you like put up the guard, and it's just like the communication just stops. Okay. Bubble Saga sort of goes over to the. You can hear the sound. This is when you're pouring water into a large jug, and you just hear like the sound of it like filling further and further, and it starts getting that slightly higher pitch. It's making that sort of sound as it goes, and she's like, "Oh. Need to just," and she puts a hand against the stump of at the end of your arm, just to like squeeze and stop the blood flow. There's just like blood, like a little bit more than a trickle, but not quite a flow coming through from the base of her hand as she like pulls this one jar away and pulls another one up underneath, and then just sort of releases her hand slowly, just to let the trickle start going again, and she just like pulls her hand up and just like looks at her left hand, and is like, yes. The corruption's running clear. Soon enough, the blood will be clear, and the corruption will be running clear like a river. But first,
You need to have a cookie.
and some OJ.
as she picks up this jar, and you can see it's a jar about yay round, about yay tall, and it's probably about 2/3 full of blood, and inside there is just like you see like the moving form of a hand is like trying to like grip and move around in this space, and
Flipping
this
everybody
tongue-
off.
This tongue like lashing at the glass at the side, and then basically a little bit face hugger style, where it's like pulls forward and like pulls the palm right up against the glass, and it's like gnawing at the glass. And she's just like slams a cap on this one quickly, like pulls it quite, screws it on tight, and just looking at the glass and like tapping on the outside. Now you settle down. We have business to attend to it later. And puts it on a little table next to you. You just puts it on the table, and this whole jar is like every now and then like. Now, Mr. Wick,
Hello.
if every so often you can just check in on that glass, this one that I've just got filling up now,
Okay.
and she's like,
Okay.
you see this, there is a sort of an essence floating around within his blood, and it looks more like think of it like leeches swimming in water.
Gross. You got leeches in your blood, mate.
When they are reduced down to a smaller number, let me know. 'Cause
Oh,
at that point, we can
I don't
turn
know
the
if
tap off. So
I don't know if you want me to be doing this. I don't know from essences.
Just let me know if you count less.
Psychic screaming, just fucking do it!
As she's sort of pacing around to your right hand side, and Master Ulrich, same story as the last. If you can hold down nice and tight, Mr. Gnarlag, this is going to, as you probably say, suck real bad. I suggest at this point, don't watch. There may be some sort of separation anxiety.
He has to watch this. He has to.
Same story again. At this point here, whether you are you going to actively resist jerking your hand away, or do you feel like no matter what there is a level of self-preservation? Actually, roll me a wisdom save.
12 plus 5.
Okay, you have enough willpower to resist pulling your hand away if you so choose.
Yeah, like, it's already happened to one arm, and, he was trying to jerk then, and it didn't work then.
She looks at this wrist here and is like, this was a bit of a... Because you're right-handed, are you not?
Ambidextrous.
This one seems a little more sinewy. This might take a little bit more than just one hack, if you don't mind. This is going...
Do you want me to do it? I get out my laser sword.
No. This particular steel that I'm using here is chosen for this purpose.
Oh.
It's a magic knife. Magic knife.
I mean, this
But-
is a magic knife.
Yes, but...
It's not a knife.
Oh.
It's a spoon.
Oh, I see you played Knifey Spoony before. I'm enjoying this voice, by the way.
He cut his hand off with a rusty spoon.
She's like... She grabs... With her... with her right hand, she grabs hold of basically like the 4 fingers on your hand, and also grabs hold of that lashing tongue and holds them all in one bundle. And it's to the point where you can feel like the mouth trying to retract the tongue back in, and it's just got that sensation like if you grabbed hold of your own tongue and then tried to pull it back in, it's uncomfortable. And you're feeling that in your hand, and you sort of feel it in your own mouth as well. It's like a referred pain sort of feel.
Open wide. Get a lollipop at the end.
Better.
Now this one is going to be a little
Dicey.
slower and a little bit more
Sexual.
How do you do?
well. Let's just say you're going to enjoy this less than the last.
So you've met my faithful handyman.
And this time here, you just feel her like place the knife at the edge, basically like lining it up with that section just between like the end of your forearm bone and the actual beginning of your hand bones, and just like the first push is like slice as it cuts through skin and into that first bit of gristle between the joints, and then pulls back, and then the next one is like slicing. You hear the sound of like popping knuckles and joints as they are severed apart, and then pulls back again. The third one, you feel like your whole hand just like pulls away at a weird angle, and then the fourth swipe, you feel weight lifted, and then that wet sound of flesh hitting steel.
Not the same sound as a fish flopping around.
No, this one is also active, but the first little slap is just like it hitting the tin in a forming pool of blood, and then you hear the sound of like fingernails dancing over wet tin, just like. We should do that on your nice table.
That's fine.
And so you hear the sort of scratching sound at the side of this tin, and then the sound of like enamel trying to gnaw at a tin bucket. Can you roll me another Constitution save?
21.
Lots. 21. You manage to stay conscious still.
I checked the blood.
Okay, roll me a perception. So this is not a medicine check. This is perception, because she explained exactly what you need to be looking for.
22.
22. You can see, like in the surface, it's shallow at the moment. It's not a rapid pace of blood loss out of this arm. You are just by laying on top of the arm are slowing the bleeding a little. Not by your actual intent. It's just by the nature of what you're doing. So you're looking at maybe about a half-inch of blood at the bottom of this.
That's a lot of blood.
That's a lot of blood. And you just see like these 3 or 4 forms just like swirling through, like eels or leeches, just sort of dripping through.
Eels up inside ya.
And she picks up this other bucket and switches out for a second glass jar, and takes them both takes it up and to the next to the other jar. This place is sort of as if they were in their original left and right hand positions. You all notice that she's very specific about which side that she puts it on. And she comes back over and is like, "How many have we got in there, Mr. Wick?"
It's like a 3 or 4.
Good. If you can keep an eye on that for another, let's say, minute, if you see any more form, let me know.
Okay. What do I do then?
Just let me know, and I will be over to assist. Mr. Ulrich, if you could please observe the blood that is in this one here, and roll me perception. And same, she's going through the same description, like eel-like or leech-like things in the surface.
6.
How many do you see in there? And just pull a fucking number out of your ass. It doesn't matter.
15.
Oh dear boy, what are you looking at? Drops or fucking she's not the swearing type. Drops or actual leech style? Hey, do you know what a leech is, my boy?
Yeah, it's what she's got in her.
Wait, which she?
I think he's pointing at Irina.
Irina.
I don't think he understands what pregnancy is. Oh boy.
I mean, it's technically correct.
Yeah. That's why a placenta exists, so the body doesn't reject it. All right. I may have underestimated your...
Telepathically, he's a fucking moron.
That he is. I may have underestimated your capacity to misinterpret anything. Oh, in there, if you point, see here, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Many.
If there ends up being any
This,
more than
this,
those
and this.
4,
How many do I have?
I need you to tell me
have some beans.
as soon as possible.
Okay.
A very small casserole. I did not that bit. At that, she goes over to the back over to the kitchen table or the kitchen sink, and just dips this knife and swishes it around in like this sort of swill bucket to sort of clean it off. And I'm doing that in the heaviest inverted commas ever.
Doesn't seem a very sanitary operating environment.
And she pulls it up and sort of wipes both sides down the side of her
Rags.
rags, and then sort of hangs it by just like a hole in the handle up on a hook that hangs over the top of this sink. And she comes back over with a smaller, it's like a curved blade. It goes basically up. It's almost like a crescent moon sort of shape. I'm sorry, my boy. This is the corruption runs deep.
We got to take your balls.
Which ones?
Gross.
Spay and neuter your Gnarlags.
Always remember to spay and neuter your changeling. You don't want more of them getting around. They can infest a home within days. If this does occur, please use change out.
Just picturing like moving aside like the fridge, and then behind it there's just a whole bunch of well-dressed tiny hobgoblins going run for the corners.
Run for all the dark corners of the room. Oh no, you've got Gnarlags.
These are the worst kinds of changelings.
Okay, she goes, now, the reason why I haven't had you knocked out to begin this is I need to ask you some questions as we go. First of all, when did he first approach you?
I've still got the thing in my mouth, so it's going to have to all be telepathically. About a decade ago.
And what was his offer?
Join him or death.
It's a simple man by a simple plan. And in which way did you sign your pact?
Fuck, I don't even know that.
Just doesn't matter. It does matter what you tell me now. Matters for what's going to happen next. It doesn't matter whether that's what you had in your mind to start off with. Just know, he's probably not listening right now. I have got him somewhat sequestered.
I had to drink.
Drink. It's always going to be that one. I was always hoping it was going to be some sort of like plunging a knife into the heart, because that's so much easier to extract if it's imbibed. Oh, beans.
Beans.
Well, we'll have to start at the mouth and work our way down to the stomach. The blood was currently being worked on anyway. That was always going to be part of the plan, but removing the core of the essence is what we need to do now.
I checked the blood.
Yeah, it's been about a minute at this point if you both can do perception checks.
Oh.
11.
You each...
13.
13? He rolled...
Don't you have like a plus 10?
Yeah, that's what he's like, oh, that's a shit roll. Well, it's still in the teens.
Sharp eyes.
He's still
I
being
can't wait for you to get that thing where you can just take a 10 every single time.
I rolled 12.
Why do
and
you
still
need
didn't.
to?
Yeah, don't need to.
Why wouldn't he need to?
Don't need to.
But you both sort of can make out, like, swirling within in there, you see, like, another one of these forms, like, coalesce out of just, like, some of the darkness within the blood. So you both, the count is still increasing.
There's still more things. Witch lady, there's still more things.
We better work quick then, because if we don't pull this corruption out, he's going to run out of blood. And if he runs out of blood, well, I don't get...
What happens when he runs out of blood?
Well, I'll still get my juices. But you will not get your friend.
Is anyone else hungry?
Could just nip down, get a cake or something.
Telepathically to Wick. No, you can't have my treasure.
Who said that?
Sounds weak and distant.
Almost like I shouldn't pay attention to it.
Actually, it does sound weak and distant. Like
you're losing your powers.
Basically, it sounds like someone shouting something at the end of a train tunnel, and you hear it, you can make it out, but it sounds distant and echoey, and it doesn't sound like someone talking directly into your brain. It sounds like someone talking to you.
Sounds like someone who
To-
can't
to-
stop me taking all their treasure.
I mean, you're not wrong. Right now, I couldn't do shit.
She reaches up to your face, and she's sort of like holds up this knife and just looking at it like, I'm so sorry, my boy. This is... We need to get this out of you.
Telepathic. Be thankful I have a mouth in this form.
That is not a prerequisite.
Uh-oh.
It makes it easier, at least.
Unimportant. And she pulls the hook and the sickle point to the underside where the jaw bones join at the peak under your chin, and just like poke it in and pull it down to the point where it sort of hits just above where your I forget what the name is. So your esophagus is, and you can feel like that blade running all the way through underneath your jaw and like pulling into the base of your tongue, and pulls your tongue out the bottom of your face.
Oh, Colombian necktie.
Yeah. And at that, she sort of like quickly wrenches your face sideways and pulls like a small saucer underneath for this blood and corruption to start pulling into. You guys were just really hoping for like a Blendtec brand blender to come in here and
that'd be
just
lovely.
mince him up, or some sort of centrifuge, or just fucking.
So he like a boring like grey haired man comes out, picks up Gnarlag, and is like, will he blend? Afterwards, he's like, don't breathe it in.
I've never even watched it, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
So good. The best part of that is like one of the might have been early generation iPhones. Like one of the first iPhones is like or it's an iPad, I think. And when they first rolled out, he's like got one of the first test versions that were going out to reviewers, and is like, will it blend? Yep.
The one truth of the universe: all things blend.
All things blend. Can Blendtec make a blender that can blend its own blenders?
Yes, they did that.
They did it? Okay, I'm not surprised. She basically has this pan underneath your neck, and you feel the heat and the colour draining out of your face. Can you give me another Constitution save? This time with disadvantage.
Oh, damn, because that was a 19. That's 9 plus 6 plus 3. 18.
Okay.
I got a high constitution for a reason.
Just so you can be eviscerated in a witch's hut.
Yeah, that's
This is
exactly
I
this
just knew this was
situation.
going to happen one day, is what the gypsy woman said.
That gypsy woman was right.
Okay.
Gypsy's a slur.
I realise. I'm sorry. Okay. She then sort of like traces down your throat, down to the top of your sternum, traces down until she hits at the base of the rib cage.
Can I like try and like just sort of get rid of the bones in that area?
You can certainly try. If you can give me a constitution check to sort of maneuver your various organs and so forth around it to something which is not generally natural, because that's why it's going to be a hard job to do.
Constitution check, right?
Yeah, it's not a save, it's a check.
So that'd be 13.
13. You sort of feel as she's like running this knife down here, like the last couple of ribs just peel back a little bit, and your whole like stomach distends slightly. And she's like, "Oh, a willing patient at last."
It's all that practice.
Now.
Moving your ribs
The
apart.
struggle on the first one, hold back as much as possible on the second one, and then just acceptance on the third.
This will be the fourth.
Oh yeah. Acceptance on the fourth. Assistance on the fourth.
No, acceptance on the third, assistance on the fourth. Yeah. Okay.
That's Stockholm syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And she's sitting there and just like drags this blade like down past like the lump where your stomach would be, down to the bottom, basically down to your navel. And then she's like,
This is a proper good old fashioned vivisection.
"Yeah,
It's too bad we're not videotaping this.
have you ever had like fresh mutton?
Once or twice.
Ever thought about how that carcass looked the day before?"
I haven't wanted to.
I'd suggest continuing that pattern. And you just feel a sharp pain right in your belly button, in your navel, and then just like extending upwards like a zipper as she is basically cutting you from navel to sternum. You
This
feel like
actually is a horror movie right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am super prepping to do like some Cthulhu games, so I'm getting in the mind space.
Yep. You're doing it right.
You feel like this hot pain and you feel like basically like your sides feel like loose, and then warm as like your blood and everything starts flowing out of this wound and down your sides and like pooling around at the base where your kidneys are. And basically she pulls this knife in like little jerks, like trying to pull a stubborn zipper. And then she's like peels back and just like peels a section. You guys can see this, you two. She like opens up like on your side first, Wick. She like peels back like the center point, like grabbing and pulls that over towards you, and then it's like pins it in place, like opening up this pocket. It pins it in place with one of her fingernails, which she then sort of snaps off as it's basically nailing this section open, and then repeats the same process over on your side. So basically, his abdominal cavity is open. You can see quite clearly just the stomach, and off to the side you can see the liver. There's all just sort of sitting there beneath that. You can see like the top section of his intestines, and all just sort of sitting there and just like pulsing away, doing their various little bits.
Are we still holding him down?
I would imagine so.
Yeah. So with one hand still holding him down, I use the other hand to move to my travel bag, get out some rations, and just start chewing.
Oh my god, you psychopath.
You absolute fucking psycho.
I said I was hungry.
What's Wick doing in all of this?
Can Wick, if Wick's not liking this, Wick can do me a wisdom save.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Please tell me he throws up away from Gnarlag.
Was that with a +3?
That takes me up to 7.
Okay.
You feel weight sort of leave your your left arm as Wick like stumbles backwards and actually like drops down with his back to the far wall.
No.
And just like shielding his face and his eyes and everything from just this fucking horror scene. This is a straight up horror scene. Mm-hmm. As you guys are watching,
I wish I was a bird and I could fly away. Oh wait.
Squawk. Bye. So you no longer have someone holding down your left
I
arm.
think I'm going to be after doing will saves to make sure Gnarlag's arm doesn't flail around.
Hold person.
Okay.
No.
The question is, do I do hold person on him or him?
Well, he's gone. I would probably suggest restraining the patient.
Yeah. All right. Wisdom saving throw, and I'm gonna remove my bonus from you.
Do I have to roll against it?
Well, I mean, you can choose to Well, that's up to you, because you can choose to not pass.
I don't think this is a state where he's going to have a lot of.
What's the pass fail?
It's 15.
I got a 14.
There we go.
It's a
He
good
fails.
thing I pulled away the thing.
You see that left arm start to pick up and start to like trying to move around, and then just like the whole body just like freezes in paralysis, and it just sort of like drops down.
I let go because I know for the next minute you're fine, and then that gives me 2 hands to start chewing on food.
Oh my god. She is like just like she sort of looks over at the now vacant left hand side and just shakes her head as she's like just like picking around inside
Actually,
your
I'll go over to you and like kind of. Well, I don't need to roll medicine. Like I just kind of go, "Hey, buddy, it's okay."
Essentially, you'll give him some assistance in the.
Don't you have the aura against fear or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but is this fear? It's not.
It's fear, but it's not. Essentially, we'll have that play out as you go over there and comfort him and bring him back from this. But
He's still not going to come.
That was more of a like instant shock rather than perpetual fear.
Yeah.
No.
There we go. You see her like over the top of you, just like shaking her head, as just like humans.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And she's like just picking around inside your abdominal cavity, and it's like she's like just like every now and then you feel a poke at something that you cannot identify what she's poking at, but you know it's inside you. You know you shouldn't be able to poke it easily with some fingernails, and she probably should have washed her hands at some point. This is a bad deal. And but you feel her, and you just feel like this tugging, like like someone's like pulling out a hair or pulling out a thread on a shirt or something.
Actually, yeah, it's aura of courage, which is so it's
It
can't be
doesn't
fright,
matter.
but
Anyway, let's keep on
yeah.
moving.
And you feel like this tugging as like little tendrils of things have just been pulled out, and she's just like happily there. She's basically plucking around inside your inside your intestines. It's just like every now and then, just like pull something out, and just like you hear it just like sort of wetly drop into a small little like a ramekin style bowl, and then she's like plucking around like. And almost like humming to herself. And every now and then she's like, she looks at one and she's like, and you see her like something's like shaking in her hand. It's just a little bit below your eye line. It's just a little bit like her hand is, the tips of her fingers are still beyond like the horizon of your sort of outsides and your insides. But then she like pulls up, and it almost looks like a small sort of like a leech, a little bit like a leech, massive gnashing disproportionately large mouthpiece on a leech, massive rows of sharp teeth, and like a long lashing tongue.
That's like the Mind Flayer leech things.
The little you saw the Baldur's Gate 3 video, didn't you?
No, I've just read the monster manual.
Yes, they're a little bit like their spawn, but what's the Baldur's Gate 3 video that came out like a couple of weeks ago? Because that's prominent in that. It's real good. But then she looks at this one and is like, oh yes. And then like lifts it up and crones her head back and like, ooh.
After a minute, I'll go back and hold him down.
Ulrich has basically wandered. Well, actually, just you do while she is picking over Gnarlag.
I'll kind of try and calm you down a bit and go, hey, it's okay, buddy.
No.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's not all good.
Worst happens in battle. It's okay.
It's not. No. That's a stab and then a nut, and then this is ate a thing, and the tongue.
Just remember, he wants this.
Does he? I don't know.
Oh,
I love it.
Hope you stay over here and calm down. I'll go and help him out. He needs some help, so I'll go and get your breath back. Maybe
Irina comes over and starts giving you a pat on the back. It's like, it's okay, honey.
have a drink of water, soothe the stomach a little bit, and
Just don't drink the water from here.
go and if you need to vomit, go and vomit in the vomit pile over there. And I just point to the general house.
The vomit pile over.
Yeah, wherever. Where you're at's fine.
Yeah,
Those pillows were.
yeah. Just at your feet is fine. And then I'll go and essentially hold both of his arms.
Okay, so you're basically like sort of standing. You're standing at his head essentially, and then reaching over and like holding both arms down. So you're just seeing him. He's got his tongue pulled out the bottom of his jaw, and it's just bleeding into, slowly sort of draining into a bowl. He looks pallid. He is. To say he's looking grey would be understating things, considering his normal complexion at base.
Considering his base complexion is grey.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll a medicine check.
Am I? Yeah, I'm still in that human form, aren't I?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that is.
That's a 20 plus 3. So
Fix him.
well, so
He comes back with one hit point.
that was to like
Is he dying?
basically, how long he's kind of try and figure out how long he's got before I need to go, hey witch, this needs to finish.
He gonna be okay?
Okay, you have seen people on the battlefield in much better conditions than this that generally die. Like, this guy his throat is cut, his hands are removed, and his his abdomen has been opened up. Like,
Yeah, I say
there's
that
not normally coming back from
Yeah,
this.
witch woman. We need to wrap this up now.
No, we need to get this corruption out. That was the deal.
He will die.
Unimportant.
I'd rather not die.
If it's all the same to y'all.
You know what? I'm kind of attached to my life. I'm assuming that's telepathic into her mind.
As quiet as it was.
And she sort of like looks up from your stomach lining, from the outside of your stomach lining. So looks up at you as it's got a little, like sucking a little bit of a leech inside of her like its craggy lip. Is like, we all rather unpleasant things not happen to us, but here we are. Now, toughen up, boy.
You'll have a beholder coming after you.
A beholder.
I'm not trying to make that a threat, it's just letting you know. If you let me die, we're coming after you, not me.
Let's deal with that after we deal with this. And sort of waves over them. You see her, so she sort of stands up a little bit more and then goes over to the two jars with left and right hands in them.
With healing,
Yep.
Magical healing. Is there any way to direct where that healing goes to?
Can you...
Here
if I
is-
just start-
here
Can
is-
you magically give someone blood?
Now
No,
here
well, so
here
if
is the
I-
thing with with healing in D&D.
Yeah.
Is what does it really do? Like
Yeah, because if I start magically healing him, he's going to basically just seal up like a lot of these wounds, isn't he?
Unclear.
you can certainly try.
It doesn't restore lost limbs.
It does not
No.
restore
No,
lost
no,
limbs.
I realize that. It's more to
You're gonna
keep
have
him
robot
alive.
hands.
My robot hands.
Like, it's to keep him alive. So if I give him 1 hit point...
Essentially, that is the equivalent of putting him on life support. If you remove that 1 hit point, he is
Beep.
fucking gone.
Beep,
Yeah,
beep.
yeah.
Beep.
Like, that's
Yeah,
what
so
I'm kind of
you
thinking.
are-
Because I can lay on hands, so I can just go 1 hit point, 1 hit point.
Essentially, let's say for the time being, every minute you are just putting a bit of your divine essence into him to basically to keep him going longer.
Every 59 seconds.
Yeah, well, I can do it for 50...
You're not at 1 hit point.
If I'm doing it every minute, then I can do it for 50 minutes.
It depends how much you're putting into him.
Yeah,
Again, just life support at this point.
yeah. Okay, well, I'll do that then. Like, every so often, I'm just giving him a hit point, just to kind of keep him alive.
Yep. All right. Yeah, she goes over to these 2 buckets of hand, and they are still quite active. And she like reaches into one, and it's like you've seen some people like grabbing lobsters out of lobster tanks. She's like diving around, like quickly grabs it from the back and like holds it up in. She's holding the right hand in her right hand, and the tongue is like lashing around, and the fingers are like jerking backwards and forwards, like trying to bend over back on themselves to basically invert the hand to try and grab hold of hers. It is violently trying to attack back. And she's like, hey, no, stop that.
Bad hand, bad hand.
And then she basically does a very, very similar sort of thing with the left hand.
Oh, wait, the hand was covered in blood, yeah?
Sorry?
The hand was covered in blood, I'm
The
assuming.
hand is over the
So
blood.
it's a red right hand.
Yes.
I don't follow. What do you mean?
It's okay, you'll get it when you roll it.
Um,
I love saying that to people who are like twice my age.
So most,
twice?
so
Fuck
most,
off.
most people.
Yeah, she basically does the same thing with the left hand. So she's basically got, a hand in a hand each.
Hand in hand.
Yes. And she's like, now you two. It's feeding.
Starts conducting.
It's feeding time. And she sort of walks over to you and is just like, with both these hands, like, she's just walking like, just with them both sort of up and away from herself. She's not like holding it to her side because that's just holding things in a precarious situation to herself. But she comes over to you, and these both hands are like dripping with blood. And she reaches over, and you can see again, so reaching into your abdominal cavity with both these hands gripped in a sort of from behind, essentially, like the bear hug with her hands around those hands. And she's like, "All right, now, you know what to do." And she plunges her hands, holding your hands into and around your stomach, and you feel the sensation of hundreds of sharp, jagged teeth just tearing at the outside of your stomach and your other vital viscera.
I try and move my heart away from it, or am I too
See?
close to unconsciousness?
Here's the thing: because you specifically said drank, she's not aiming anywhere near your lungs or your heart.
Oh, okay.
She's going for the digestive system.
Right.
A fine choice, by the way. It has made this a lot more visceral, but probably slightly more survivable.
Yeah. If I had said, it would just like implanted it through a tentacle in my brain.
Yeah, so, well, time to get that thing out. Shunk. That scene, I think is it Red Dragon or one of the other Hannibal Lecter movies? With the
really
senator sitting there with they got the senator guy sitting there with his brain open, and it's just like cuts a little bit out, cooks it up, feeds it to him. It's like, ah.
That movie was fucked up.
What, right? It was Red Dragon, wasn't it?
That was Hannibal.
That was Hannibal, okay.
I'm fortunate enough to know never have seen either of those.
There's 3 movies all up. Hannibal, Red Dragon, and Silence of the Lambs. And I
Have you
thoroughly
seen Silence
suggest...
of the Lambs?
I thoroughly
Oh, wait.
suggest watching...
What's
all of
Silence of the Lambs?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Silence of the Lambs is great.
It's great.
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
thanks.
there's no real horror in that.
I'm good, thanks.
Are you good though?
Well, soon I will be.
Okay. This is when you start pouring a little bit more of your healing power into it, because, yeah, you can hear it sounds like a feeding frenzy. You've seen like starving animals rush into a battlefield and basically start mauling corpses and fighting over them. This is that same sort of sound.
I'm also hoping, like, yeah, essentially the light of a, like, yeah, holy energy is essentially not making the corruption more. Hopefully, it's getting rid of some of the corruption as well.
I would assume that like any time you've sort of healed Gnarlag while he's had your Golden Axe influence, it's at least been discomforting.
Wick,
Hello.
how are you doing?
And if it wasn't a public
And Ross,
I'm okay.
how are you doing?
I'm okay. No, I'm okay.
She's basically like with the hand sort of embedded into Gnarlag, and that from your angle, it just looks like she's got hands buried inside something inside the wizard's chest that is his stomach. And she sort of looks over to you and say, "How many are in the blood?" And Mr. Ulrich, how many in your blood?
I mean, I'm holding on to him. I can't really. I'm probably concentrating on keeping.
Maybe Mr. Wick, if you could check both
I'll
bowls.
check both bowls. I got a 1. I don't know. I don't know.
Wait, this is in perception.
Mm-hmm.
You got 1.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, but you still okay? Yeah,
Yeah.
because you still have like +10 or whatever.
And then she's like, now, boy. Take a breath. No. Take a single deep breath in. Hold it. Hold it until your lungs feel like they're burning. No. And now, out through your nose.
I don't like this. I don't want to be a part of this.
Now, focus. How many are in the bowl? This is where you can reroll.
Okay. It's like 24.
At this point here, you're not seeing any more than there was before in your bowl. I believe we said there was 4, then went to 5 in yours.
Something like that, yeah.
And if you check the other bowl, it will just roll with that same one. It's like, That one there has this one like sad-looking half materialized thing. It's like part of the tail section is not fully formed. It looks like it's really struggling, but it doesn't look like there's any more liquid in the blood to form these corruptive leeches. So your opinion is there doesn't seem to be much more coming out. There's still blood coming out. There doesn't seem to be more corruption coming along with it.
It seemed good. Seems like that's about it. Maybe stop. Maybe just stop. Maybe you can stop.
This is a good sign. This is good. Again, you can just breathe. You can relax. This is good news. I mean, my work here is nearly done, and the boy may live.
How many points do you want me to have pumped into him?
By the end of it, roughly half of it.
Okay. Because I'm vaguely contemplating on letting him die.
Good.
Because I can bring him back. But I'm not sure she knows that, so...
I'm sure she does.
How are you bringing him back?
Okay, if you're
I can bring him back up to a minute after he dies.
How are you doing that?
Because we made sure to have a leftover diamond.
We didn't do that. We had a diamond.
we had a diamond.
Oh, wait, that's right. We were going to do that, but we haven't had the time to do
That's
that.
correct.
Yeah, good
So-
point.
so
That was like yesterday.
Well, yeah, I know, but
That
it was
was
also
not
several
even-
months ago in real time, and so in my head I was just like, oh yeah, we did that thing.
It wasn't months ago. It was like 3 sessions ago.
So it's like,
It's like months
month
ago
and a half
now.
ago.
Yeah,
All right.
like that's ages ago, and I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, all right. No, I won't be doing that then. Fair enough.
It's like, I let him die and now I try to resurrect him. Where's that fucking diamond I got? Oh no. Well, there's a serious wrap on Gnarlag. Give me another Constitution save. This time the target number is significantly higher.
Well, that was a 1.
At this point, you pass out.
I would have thought so way earlier.
Yeah, as you've been rolling exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it easy.
Yeah, you feel him go limp. And like the arms both relax, and I was going to say his tongue lolls around in his outside of his mouth, but that's kind of already sort of outside of his face. So, but you see everything just sort of like just go limp.
I keep a hand on his shoulder because that
Yep.
means I can still keep pumping.
And
Holy
you,
energy.
for the next sort of about a minute, you just hear that sort of in silence. You stand there sort of in silence, aside from the sound of just like ravenous, rabid chewing sounds. And then eventually you sort of hear this sort of last little slurp sound and a small belch. And she pulls these two hands out, and they are just like the mouths in these hands.
Stomachs?
Sorry?
Where are their stomachs?
In another plane. And both of these things are just like they got dripping with gore. It's this thick, blackish, like molasses style, oily liquid like dripping out the sides of their mouths. They got like fragments of like stomach muscle and so forth, just like caught in their teeth. But both of them are just, rather than lashing around angrily, the tongues are just sort of like moving a little bit more like a content cat, just like swinging side to side, just not angry, just sort of just moving. And she goes over and just like drops one in each of their respective buckets, and they're just sort of just drifting around in their own little swimming pools of blood. Well, now let's get him back together, so to speak. And, well, you don't feel any of this. You are in your own little dream state where your mind is protected from everything.
That song from Tiny Tim is playing.
Yeah, the tiptoe through the tulip sort of moment. Yeah. Let's not try and sing it because it's audio poison for anyone apart from Tiny Tim.
So bad.
And is it probably audio poison even if you are Tiny Tim? But yeah. What you both see is just like she pulls these two pins made of fingernail out both sides, and it just like slowly like massages over the flaps of skin,
It's massaging
and
the
just like,
flaps.
don't be gross.
Yeah,
I'm
let's-
doing the gross.
Let's stop being gross.
You forget what side of the table the gross is meant to be. It's over here.
So gross.
But yeah, she sort of massages the various organs back into their respective spots. You sort of, it looks a little bit like a toy maker repairing a teddy bear. There's like pushing the stuffing back in and then closing up, and then she's Master Ulrich, if you can just hold these two sides together for me. And it's just no, don't hold the edges. I just need you to sort of push with your hands and just close the gap.
Okay.
And she goes over to a little basket she's got there, and a couple of like knitting needles are sticking out the side, and there's a couple of balls of like old, like pretty ratty looking yarn, and she pulls out this little kit and comes over and says like, "Right," and just ever so quietly stitching this foot long cut through his abdomen back closed. And then she works her way up to his face and just sort of like grabs him by the forehead and just like pushes his head back. Probably shouldn't do that. That doesn't work for the microphone so well. But then just like looking at the space there where the tongue is sticking out the back, and she's like, the two fingers just like pushing the tongue back into the mouth, and then again taking some more thread, just like stitching that up. So just carefully, slowly. Doesn't seem to be rushing about anything here. And she grabs the little bowl that's sitting there and just goes and pours it into the pail where one of the hands is. Then she goes over to the left hand side. And it's like, how to replace? Well, if you permit me, I shall do a little bit of a remodeling, so to speak. So, do you find that agreeable?
Do we have a choice?
Of course. I can clean these wounds up and seal them, but he will, well, won't be quite the handyman. Back to tears. Abject horror.
Go ahead.
You see her sort of like channeling like a little bit of power into her hands, and just like ever so slowly, just like working out of the fleshy stump that's there.
Can I have little baby hands?
Like Deadpool. No, she's like starts working like a few working the muscle out, and then grabbing hold of bone, little fragments of bone, and just like ever so slowly pulling bone outwards, and then just like snapping a little bit off and like placing it down. It's just basically like slowly over 10 minutes or so, she like reforms like this skeletal hand, just like by magically crafting out of existing bone.
Oof.
And then starts essentially like pulling like little layers of like, you've seen like those cooking shows where they roll like fondant out and then like put it over the top of cakes. I'm going to ruin those for you right now.
So cake fondant's disgusting.
She says like rolls little bits of flesh out and just like pulls it slowly over the top of this newly formed hand, and just like pats down between like the fingers and so forth, and just like cleans it off.
Hey Ryan, I hate this episode.
Is it because I'm ruining all the things that you used to enjoy watching on YouTube?
I'm actually getting hungry.
Probably the biggest. She's like, the biggest advantage here is working on changelings is so much easier. You know, human or any form of anything else without regenerative abilities or anything like that would, well, this would be significantly harder, or in most cases, virtually impossible. But his own flesh is so malleable, and she's just like pinching these things together, basically just molding what looks like a fairly reasonable hand. It looks like a 20-minute molding job, but it looks like a hand. You can see the knuckle points. There's some rudimentary sort of fingernails at the end of the things. One thing there is distinct lack of is toothy morse in the palms.
Yay.
She goes over and basically working over the other one and just like molding out this other hand, and then she stops and looks at it a moment and is like, damn it. Goes over to the kitchen table, grabs a knife, and quickly lops off the thumb that she's molded onto the wrong side of the hand. And then
It's like an IKEA shelf. There's always extra bits. So there's not enough
got
bits.
2 screws and an extra bit of dowel. God damn it. Sorry, I had to inject a little bit of comedy at this point. And she molds a thumb out the right side of the hand, and she's like, "All right, you do your thing, Mr. Holy Power. Just give him a bit of."
You're pretty fucked up, aren't you? Okay. I start healing him.
Yeah, I'm assuming you basically drop the rest of it in there to basically get him back up.
Well, I was actually probably just gonna do a cure wounds.
Cut his head off because now he's a witch spawn.
Well, suffer not the wish to live. Stab.
What are his hit points at, do we think?
I would say low.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not putting a physical number on this. If you're going to say do cure wounds at level 3, I'm going to say he's healed a decent amount.
Yeah.
Since you're not supposed to know that number regardless, it's probably fine.
On a scale of 1 to 72.
Well, I was actually going to do a cure wounds at a level 2, but and then
Spell slots.
Hey, I have them now.
You had them too before.
You had him before.
I only had two.
Two,
though.
yeah.
I had them too.
Yep. I know what I said.
it's more if something ends up happening with a fight anytime soon with any particular witches. Or
Okay.
anything.
You
Just
let
in
me know
case.
which one you want to do.
Yeah.
Gnarlag.
Level
You are in a sort of dream skate. Skate. State. Sorry? No. You're in a very similar one that you were in probably not 12 hours ago.
Ah, yes. The beach.
You're on the beach side of a large lake. We're talking like American summer camp. You've got the pine forest all the way around. And there are just families and locals and everything all just basically having the worst time ever because it is dark and everything looks oily. There are just horror scenes of tentacles pulling people out of their boats and into the water, and there's a single guy basically like fly fishing with what looks like his own intestines, basically sort of flinging them out and then pulling them back in. It's a real fucking Cronenberg looking moment. And the waiter is beside you. And he's like, "Well, sir, how's about that drink?" And you look at it, and you are holding on to an empty martini glass that you have recently drank from. And remember, this is always, and always will be, your choice. And you feel in your mouth, you're basically sort of swishing around what tastes like a super bitter, like oily, as like there's like earwax and motor oil mixed together, and it's just washing around in your mouth.
Alex spits it in his face.
And this waiter, for the first time, you sort of look up and you see where there is no, where there would be a face, there is no face, there is no head. What you have is a corpulently large, fat man in a tuxedo, holding a tray, with toothy maw hands.
I'd just like to say, Ryan, you need help.
No,
that
is the actual
that's
imagery of your golden axe.
No, not just that particular thing, just in general. Like this entire session.
So you see the image of your Golinak in front of you wearing a tuxedo with a serving tray with an empty martini glass. You have spat this oily liquid in the space where his face would be, but it has just gone like over the top of the stump where his head and neck would be, and
I thought he was significantly taller than Gnarlag.
You're sitting down, weren't you?
Whatever. Anyway, yes. So I've attempted to spit on him.
and he's like, truly, truly disappointing. At some point I thought that you would be, well, useful to me, but no.
Reality often doesn't meet our expectations.
What do you suppose you're going to do with yourself now, then? Just a meager existence? Probably not even that.
Probably.
You're going to die. Alone.
Oh, I have my own plans, and you're not gonna know them. For once.
Well, now,
Bye.
let's see how that works. And he takes 2 steps towards you and like reaches out his right hand and tries to grab hold of your face. And well, let's go a little bit Infinity War style. As he's reaching towards you, like his hand just starts to like break away and disintegrate as he's sort of reaching towards you. And then the rest of the body just sort of like,
Mr. Proskino, I don't feel so good.
yeah, it's a visual metaphor I can use quite easily that most people understand.
Yeah.
You seen Infinity War?
Nope,
Me neither.
but I still understand it.
The meme is big
Disney
enough.
have been using it in every movie recently. It's
And as he fades away, the colour starts to filter back into this dreamscape. State.
Skate.
Scape. You see that the what looked like a set of thrashing tentacles ends up being just like 3 sort of young girls just sort of splashing around in the water at each other.
Fun, son.
Basically that the guy that was fly fishing with his own intestines is now actually just like standing there in a set of waders, just flinging a fishing rod out into the water. There are people just in like canoes and everything. It is a summer camp ass looking scene. High color, probably the most vibrant color you've seen in 10 years. And you feel
like you want to sing.
no, now in a musical. I cannot hold that up.
Now I am the bard.
No, you sort of sit back and just watching the scene, and you hear your heartbeat just rhythmically thumping away in your chest. Nothing scary about it. It's just like you're now at sort of at a moment where you can just sort of relax and just notice things around you, and you just feel your blood running through your body. You feel
Not out of it.
well. Here's the thing: you're all your sensations around you. Like you start like tapping your fingers and like you're feeling more sensation in your fingertips than you've felt in a decade. You are like every one of your senses is just that little bit sharper, a little bit stronger. Almost like you've had blinders on for 10 years. Like something's been drawing away at everything that makes somebody a person.
Now's a really good time to let in the light of Mars.
I ain't no priest.
And you sort of sit back in this sun chair on the beach and just put your hands behind your head and just take a sigh and just rest. You are sleeping within a dream.
Go another level deeper.
Now, there's people on skis.
And
Suddenly,
Edith Piaf is playing.
suddenly a train comes.
Bwomp.
Huh?
Hans Zimmer is here.
Okay.
He's fallen
Outs-
asleep
outs-
on his keyboard.
Outside in the witch's hut, she takes a couple of steps back and is just like got a like this old rag that she's just wiping her hands down, and she's like, "The boy is going to need to rest for some time, but and she's like sees like a few speckles of blood on her hand still, and is like licking him off her fingers, like, I think he's going to do just fine. Wow, delicious, delicious."
Well, now that you've got your payment out of this one, you think you can start holding up your end of the bargain and maybe do something about this besieging the town business going on?
Oh, of course. But what was your grand plan? Did you have some sort of battle missions or some sort of plan involved?
We got to regroup with the rest of the war council sort of thing and figure out what the next phase of the
war
plan.
council that I'm now a member of.
Yeah, that. But like, just in the meantime, I mean, the Barovia's being attacked by all flying nasties. I mean, you and your witches might be able to do something about that, right?
Oh, of course. If you would like to look after young Gnarlag here, he's going to need his rest.
So does he have like weird, like gross hands now?
It looks more like plasticine molded hands on the end. It looks like mannequin hands attached to an actual human
What
body.
about his mouth?
It's just sort of like his mouth is there.
Was his tongue pushed back into place?
Yeah, it's pushed back into place.
He's
and
just
there's-
got
you
stitches underneath.
Stitches,
Yeah.
stitches are running down basically from point of chin down to your esophagus. I can't stop pressing against that point of my throat.
It's not fun to press against.
Don't do that.
Trying to do that while talking is a real bad thing. It's like,
There's a reason that's a self-defense technique.
yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I hate talking, apparently.
I hate myself, and so should you.
And yeah, like he is stitched together like a patchwork doll down from chest to navel.
Alright.
There
Just
is
probably like refresh your shapeshift and it'll be fine.
He actually probably looks better than he did before.
Yeah. God.
actually roll me a medicine check.
Get rid of those love handles while you're at it.
Oh, not great.
Not great.
5.
5. Yeah, he's not dead. You know that.
Well, so I pumped a level 2 cure wounds into him.
Yep.
And I'll probably do a few more lay on hands and then, yeah.
As you're doing that, you just see like a little bit more of the color returns to his cheeks. Like even like the fingertips, you can see like there is a little bit of like color to those, even though they look like plasticine stuck to the end of his body. It still seems to have like signs of life. Every now and then you just see like the slightest little twitch of movement.
Okay.
I get a marker or something and draw little mouths on his on his hands.
Where would you even get something to write with?
Charcoal
I
stylus.
actually no, I just used the blood that like it just like yeah, no, it's okay.
a little bit of charcoal. Just,
Yeah, charcoal mixed with water, and then
this is Ulrich's art and crafts time.
Yeah.
He's got to have a creative outlet.
Arts and crafts.
Otherwise, if he doesn't have a creative outlet, he gets violent.
We can
not
like
very
get
creative,
like a couple of sticks and a length of fabric and make like a stretcher to load load him up on.
Can.
I was just going to put him on my shoulder, but yeah.
End of the day, this hut is actually on it's on a plot of land that actually has a few like trees surrounding it as well that walk along with the hut.
Okay.
So there's actually a couple of like trees outside you could snap some branches off to make a stretcher from.
All right.
That's where I got the
Yep.
stick for him to chew on.
Essentially, it's what's walking around is the roots of the trees are animated and basically just like lift themselves out of the ground and are walking with the.
I'm just sort of thinking like he's all fucked up and like needs to recover. We can't exactly go back into Barovia because it's under siege right now. Unless you're recuperate. That's why I was saying about the witch sort of getting all witchy on the besieging forces sort of thing.
She's like,
Aren't half of those forces hers?
Except for the
No,
northern
no.
half.
There's not half.
Well, the witches are probably the most powerful part of it.
You see her as she wanders over to an old dusty mirror. And she sort of breathes heavily on it to fog it up a little bit. It's like looking into it. It's like taps it with this gnarled fingernail. It's like, ladies, we've got a new plan. Strahd's little minions. Just clean them up if we could.
They give them nice makeovers. Oh, darling, you look wonderful with this hair now. Oh, and look at the contouring on your cheeks now. What? Why are you giving me that look? Are you surprised I know makeup terminology?
No?
No.
Good.
It's just a very good impression.
Of an old lady giving makeup advice.
Yeah.
I'm just very confused about all of this.
I don't know who that character was.
I invited you into my house, and this is what I get.
You get guts and gore everywhere, and then old lady makeup.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll grab Irina and like stretch her. Jimmy No Hands. Yeah, back to Barovia.
I knew that'd end up being a Jimmy No Hands. We had Jimmy Two Hands, Jimmy One Hand,
Now Jimmy No Hands.
Jimmy New Hands.
Jimmy New Hands.
You gotta give those bad boys a good go later on.
Jimmy Baby Hands.
I'm still picturing Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like, just...
I don't think anyone isn't.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, Trump. Yeah.
No. No.
I have the best curses.
He did say no, and he did also invite you into his house. Okay. As you sort of motion to make a stretcher and sort of invite Irina to leave, Babala Saga's like, no. We need to get to this war council, correct?
Yeah. We got some members.
And she just yells out, "Oh, house! We're going on a trip."
We're gonna pick up. We've got some of our compatriots are fighting in Barovia, as I understand it. We could grab them on the way.
Village of Barovia, and then on the way to where is it?
Which is a good
See,
question.
that's an interesting question, really. I know we got there through the Burgermeister's mansion back in Valaki, but we were actually doing it somewhere else through a portal. So I suppose Valaki, and we'll figure it out from there, I guess.
He yells out against the room and say, "House, on to Valaki!" After picking up these gentlemen's comrades. And
Because
you
like
feel the whole house just like lurch, and there's the sound of like stomping, like and creaking of boughs.
I figure Rudolfo and Ismark are important members of the thing. Korik somewhere. Maybe we should get Korik. What happened to Korik? Ex-Korik. Post-Korik.
Maybe you should fly around and try to find him. He's probably moving around a bit quicker than the other guys.
Oh, yeah, that's something you can do.
All right, I'll look. I'll go. We got a friend who was sort of helping us out here. I don't know exactly where he'll be, but I could go sort of look around for him a bit and meet you guys there. I'll follow the subtle chicken leg house.
What did we do with the emo diary?
I've got it.
Okay, we didn't give it to Dave.
I've got it.
Okay,
We've got it back up.
I
had it.
make sure I got it.
cool. Because, yeah, if we'd given that to Dave...
That would have been bad. Yes. but definitively it is in my bag. I have it. I have the diary. I don't have it written on my sheet here, but I have the diary.
No, I know.
We all know. We all know.
So I want to be clear. Yeah. Well, while the house is what's the word I'm looking for? Ambulating.
Yep.
I will transform into a bird and fly away, and I will try and look for Korik.
Okay. You take up into the air, and in the sort of the short distance is the village of Barovia, and you can see the battle is ongoing, although the sounds of it seems to have changed a little bit. There's a lot more sort of in the way of magical artillery firing into the air.
It's less like villagers with pitchforks and now fucking witches fighting back.
Yep. So you can see that a good portion of what was attacking the town is either in the process of being slaughtered or in the process of trying to flee.
Nice.
They are being routed. This has been a very big tipping of the tables.
Or how the turntables.
What?
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 The house is sort of striding along. You can see at its current pace, it's probably going to take about a half an hour, 45 minutes to make it to the edge of town. Probably around about, if it on the line it's taking, it's going to be basically near the mansion.
Yep.
We should always travel by house. This seems
You're the one with a magical horse.
true.
Flying in closer. Give me investigation for finding the various people that you're looking for.
I got a +8 to investigation while I'm a raven.
I imagine finding a large dog that's on fire
It's a
probably
10. I got a 10.
isn't that hard.
I got a 10.
You flying along, you find Rictavio or Rudolph, whichever. Oh, you would know him as both, really, don't you? You find him,
And weirdly, I can't remember either.
you find you find him first because you are flying along and then hear a crossbow bolt like whistle past your left wing. Because
it's being attacked by birds.
Yeah, the place is being attacked by airborne things,
Yeah.
and you're fucking flying over the city. And you see the origin of that, of, a crossbow wielding, large feathered hat wearing fancy man.
Yeah.
How do you proceed?
I think I will go to dive toward him, and then sort of like transform and flip as I'm doing it. So it's sort of like doing like a front flip. So I land like on my feet in front of him as a human.
Stabs you.
Roll me on a acrobatics on the land, because
That's a cool one.
that's a cool one.
It was a cool one. I got a 25.
Okay, like mid-air, basically, you see what if you were watching this from another perspective, you would just see like a puff of like raven feathers, just like explode out from this raven, and then just form into like Wick's cloak,
Yeah.
and him to do like 3 like backwards flips, and just like land like 1 foot slightly in front of the other. Like, you wouldn't get perfect score from the Russians, but it's a pretty fucking good landing.
Russians.
Yeah, they cheat anyway.
You need to improve form.
And you basically land.
Watch for foot placement.
You land like so. I'm glad that joke landed. You land like 4 paces in front of Rictavio, who was just there, like pulling the string up on his crossbow, and ready to load up the next shot. And looks up and he's like, "Ah, my boy, what? I'm so sorry."
It's all right. You're a terrible shot anyway.
The sass.
Now. I'm a much better shot than that. You've got me all wrong. I'm just tired. That's all. Tired.
Well, all right. Things have been moving a bit. We have entered in.
Things have got buck wild here.
Yeah, I know.
There's witches.
Yeah, look. We sort of entered into, what's the word I'm looking for? A détente with the witches, as it were. We've sort of reached an arrangement where they're going to help us defeat Strahd. So as a
You can see like his jaw is almost on the floor.
yeah, it wasn't easy. Like what's his name? The skinny one with the thing. They cut him. They cut bits out of him as taking payment. I didn't really follow what was going on myself, but it was quite horrific.
Wait. You went into some sort of accord with the witches.
Yeah, an accord. That's a good word for it. Yeah.
And what phenomenal price have you paid for this?
Well, Gnarlag paid a pound of flesh.
It's probably about a pound and a half of flesh.
And the blood. Because he's not getting caught on that fucking Merchant of Venice fucking loophole bullshit.
Right, yeah.
Don't know.
It's a Shakespeare play. It's a Merchant of Venice. There's a
I'm-
whole legal proceeding of like a guy owes a pound of flesh, but the legal argument was that the document didn't allow for any of his blood, so they couldn't take the flesh.
Fascinating.
It's actually a really good one. It also has a
We can figure something out.
It's also really anti-Semitic.
Oh yeah.
yeah, because
Shakespeare.
yeah.
So anyway, look,
How?
Well, you remember Irina, right?
Yeah, the fair lady of Barovia. Yes.
Well, she sort of took it upon herself to like barter the safety of
So she arranged this meeting of the witches.
sort of. It's more like she.
Where is she at?
Well, look. We've got. Okay, look.
Take a breath, boy. You're rambling.
Where to
I'm just
start?
looking for strong answers.
Arena is still with the witches and with the dragon fellow and the now slightly less of the fancy man fellow. They're in the walking witch house, which is just to the south of the town right now. Which that one, yeah. So what we're doing, since sort of the part of the accord that we reached is the witch is going to be a part of the war council that we've assembled, sort of thing. So we're gathering everybody up now, and we're going to sort of go to that. So get your stuff. We're gonna head on back to Valaki now that the other witch sort of forces are here helping fight off what's going on here right now, sort of thing.
So what did they get out of it? Because I'm not really getting what's stopping them from just getting the entire war council together and just killing them all.
Interesting. That's look. Let's be clear. Let's keep a finger on that one, because witches. Well, all right. So, privy to the previous sort of agreement that she reached with the witches, Irina is going to be giving birth to some kind of hag baby. That wasn't a part of our deal. That was sort of the deal that she arranged prior to that. And then we sort of leveraged that into a more fuller agreement in regards to the whole Strahd situation. So they're getting a witch baby out of Irina. Yeah, they weren't really flexible on that one.
There's a slight tilt to the head, and like the jaws actually.
Yeah, maybe look. We'll just keep quiet on that one for a little bit. I don't know how everyone's going to feel about Irina giving birth to a witch baby, but I mean, you're cool. That Gnarlag fellow with his dark magics, like the witch sort of took them and bits of him out of.
I'm just doing the math in my head. So far, they're getting a witch baby.
Yep.
And the dark powers of one of your comrades.
Yep. Also, I think we negotiated for 1% of the children of Barovia going forward.
You did what?
Look, it's desperate times.
And do emphasize that, it's less than what it was.
Wick doesn't feel great about it. It's like, look, we're just killing some babies.
There'll be more.
Calm down.
Whew.
Yeah, look, I don't feel great about it. I'll be clear, but yeah.
My boy, for the first time, I believe I am speechless.
You said that just now, though. You said those words just then about being speechless. So you're not really. It's more sort of you're very limited in your speech, as it were, rather than being completely sort of speechless, I think. We should get Gnarlag's cart and gather it up and start heading towards the thing.
I have to ask. I'm assuming at this point part payment's been made.
Yeah, we drank
the deal is sealed, correct? This is not negotiable at this point. The deal is made on our behalf. Well, this country's behalf. This is not my lands. This is.
There was another part about the country as well. The witches sort of wanted some input into who would actually be the actual sort of ruler of Barovia.
How can there be more to this? Let me guess. Let me guess. The witches are going to rule the lands upon high.
No.
No. The progeny of Irina will be the one to take the throne.
Look, that's ridiculous. That's just patently absurd. It's
compared to the rest of the story so far. No, it's completely on theme.
It was just gonna be Irina. It was gonna be after.
Oh my boy, this is probably the only good news you've given me out of this.
Well, I thought that was
aside from taking down Strahd, which
I think you're not looking at the big picture, really. I mean, like at the moment we've just got like a couple of plucky adventurers and like villagers and so now we've got like all the witches on our side. You know, they're always like, oh, don't go into the woods at night, the witches will eat your bones. Well, now the witches are going to eat Strahd's bones at night in the woods. I mean, we'll probably come up with a better plan than that, but essentially that's what's...
Lure him out of his castle at night into Bonewood.
Yeah. So, that's where we're at, really. We're going to pick everybody up, sort of you and Ismark, and probably should grab Gnarlag's cart and stuff, and then we can sort of load up onto the walking witch house thing, and then make our way to Valaki for the war council that we were going to have with the witches now.
Yeah, if you remind me, was Rictavia part of the council, wasn't he?
We got him on board. We sort of after we did the council.
No.
Can I just say, you've got to give Ross an inspiration dice for that entire conversation. That was an amazing conversation.
That was inspired.
Yeah, that was really good, Ross. I'm really impressed.
Wick's a fun character.
You did that just so well. Everything about that was so good.
Okay.
I like I'm used to, like the other character I play's got like the whole fast talking thing, and Wick definitely doesn't do that. He has a 0 charisma, so just like
just fumbles his way through a sentence.
All right.
Yeah, he's one of the most charming people in the party.
It's weird, right?
Ulrich, you're inside the walking hut with a witch and a witch to be. Inside of another woman.
And a sleeping Gnarlag.
And a very passed out Gnarlag.
Yeah,
he said witch to be.
I imagine I'm doing lots of medicine rolls on him.
Turns out you're a lady now.
She cut off more than you thought.
Dude looks like a lady.
He is 2 stone lighter.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like balls.
As annoying as that joke can be, I really like it when it's done in real life.
Alright. Double Saga is sort of just pondering around her hut and just sort of like tidying things back up again in the style that is her very, very scattered approach to organization. There's just shit everywhere, but everything that she knows where everything is. So she's going along. She's basically like the unused vials and glasses. She's just setting back up again on this rack.
If she ever gets within like 10 to 15, well, basically, if she ever gets in melee distance of me, I kind of put a hand on my sword. Like,
now, boys, I don't think hostilities are required at all. We're well, I could have quite easily have ended your young friend's life with a quick flick of a wrist.
So
It's an odd flex, that one. Yes, you could quite easily have ended his life.
He's your friend.
So, I mean you no harm. We are allies. By your own accord.
yes, we are.
So, no need for hands on weapons. And she just potters back over to grabs one of the little vials that she just put away, and just like decants a little bit of the blood out of one of the hand bottles, and just like sips slowly out. It's like, would you like some? It is no, actually, I don't think that'd be quite your flavour. But she does sort of like wave a hand over where the bedroll and everything is, lowers it back down to the ground. Is like, if you want, I think he's probably stable enough. If you want to take him off the bed and just sit him up in the chair over there, I think it should be quite safe.
Okay. Pick him up. Put him over there.
Like, the actual action of that is like, shove. Ragdoll him into the thing.
It's like the sign language for Australian. It's literally just up, down.
Yeah, just fucking yeet him into the fucking chair.
Yep. Yeet.
And she sort of just waves a hand back over the space
No,
where
like,
the bedroll
play the
is, and
piano
the
again.
bed disappears, and that little fireplace,
Or previously.
and the cauldron reappears. And she's like, "Fancy some supper?" And you notice the liquid, the contents of the cauldron is not what it was before. It's now it's a bubbling away stew.
It's just a regular old soup.
It's a
Regular old soup. Don't ask what meat it is.
Sure.
she gets this sort of
Guess what's in the soup?
this.
It's babies.
She just like scoops a bowl and like hands it over with this gnarled hand. Just like,
I just
Babies.
it's like ham, but it's not ham.
Long pork.
it's a little bit like chicken.
It's like, no. Don't worry about that. That's purely potato and leek.
Babies. Baby potatoes.
Baby carrots.
Oh, I wish I thought of that joke. It is the finest baby potatoes and baby carrots.
And
A little bit of-
broccolini.
a little bit of baby corn. No, it is just a
Also a Frenchman.
Tastes like frog.
you sort of swish around and taste a little bit of coriander.
Oh, that's a good joke. Funny joke.
But yeah, she's like, you don't have to worry about us. I can see on your face you're 5 seconds away from drawing your sword and running me through.
I mean, to be fair, I'm that way with everybody.
That must be a terribly tense life for you. She basically just sort of scoops up a bowl of her own stuff, and then just puts like a couple of little drops of like. Basically, she's treating this stuff like Tabasco sauce. She's like shaking a little bit into her thing, like stirring it around.
Gnarlag's Elder God blood stew. Once I've determined he's going to be okay, I'll start looking in on Irina.
Yep, Irina's basically been sitting like leaning, basically on the porch outside. She's been sitting on a chair there and just sort of looking off into the middle distance, and barely acknowledges you when you come out. But it's just sort of after you sort of present right up there, she sort of turns and is like, "Is it done?"
Oh yeah, I forgot she went outside, didn't she? So she doesn't know what's going on. Okay.
Is he alive? Is it?
He's okay. He will live. Now we're just worried about
what happened.
You. He had his hands chopped off. There were some other things.
What?
He got them back. Got new ones. It's okay. He'll live.
She just sort of pauses, like trying to just sort of process the idea of like he's fine. He got new hands. He's alive after having.
Are they new hands, or were they always his hands to begin with?
No, they're new hands. Well, one's new, the other one was always his to begin with.
Handy.
A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. She just sort of sit there holding her belly. It's like, I don't think it's going to be much longer.
We should probably get ready then.
Have you delivered a child before?
I helped my what would you call
He certainly delivered a child to someone.
I mean, I would. What would you call fellow hatchlings? Brood?
Yeah.
Yeah. I helped my brood. Actually, I helped my mother's second brood. I helped deliver them, technically.
Wait, are your people born from eggs? Or hatched from eggs?
Yes.
And she sort of pauses for
Are
a
yours
moment.
not?
Oh, no. Well, actually, they wouldn't know that.
I imagine it's a similar process. We'll be
she's-
fine. Don't worry.
She sort of like
She'll be right,
she
mate.
sort of awkwardly gets up and doing the holding the belly thing, and she gets out of the chair. She sort of wanders inside and is like, Mistress Baba Yaga, Lasaga. Yep, thank you.
She doesn't even have a dog.
It's Baba Yaga. Could you help? I don't think Ulrich is going to be that much help in the birthing process. And Baba Lasaga sort of just like puts a single arm around her with like the whole rags and everything that hung over. Is like, no, come, my dear. We will look after you. Down my sneeze. Gnarlag, your dream within a dream. You are.
Yep.
Don't know the words. It's French. What?
It's French.
Yeah, the song that's being played is Edith Piaf. It's in French.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Oh,
Watch a movie. Jesus.
You're talking about that movie, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Inception.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
You laughed at the joke before.
Because it's the Hans Zimmer Boom. It's in every single movie he makes the soundtrack for.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Okay. You are in your sort of probably pre-teens. So you're about 10, 11 sort of age. I believe you're an orphan?
Just lots of masturbating.
I don't think he was, actually.
Okay, so you are with your family, which I believe is a family of changelings.
So your mother is your father, and your father is your mother.
I guess. I mean, they can be. It's not, you know.
It's weird to be so judgmental
I
about
have
it.
I have 2 mums and 2 dads, sometimes at the same time.
There's a whole aspect of changeling family structure I had not even thought of. Till one average joke was made, and now my entire fucking brain is exploding.
She could see a doctor.
It's a completely gender-neutral family.
Don't say that. It wasn't an average joke. It was a terrible, terrible joke.
Okay. They are... Okay, you tell me at what point you get separated from your parents, because you do at some point.
I'd say
And
probably.
how it happens, whether it's just like you move out of home, or whether it's some sort of Rumspringer sort of moment where you just sort of leave the family and go for a year's travel, or whether they've met some unfortunate demise. You tell me what happened, because this is
Is
you
it
dreaming
immediately
of-
after you chewing your way out of some kind of womb area?
15, 16, apprenticeship with the local alchemist, and then around about 17, 18, going on the road.
Okay.
So
So you
not chewing your way out then. Cool.
He was a normal
It'd
dude.
be weird.
He was
if
a bit of a con man before the Golden Act, but he was a normal dude.
Okay. Look, I don't know what's a normal dude for a changeling. I'm not trying to judge. You weirdy.
okay. I'm not trying to, but I'm going to.
I'm trying to. I'm succeeding at it.
Trying so hard to.
You're sort of your whole childhood was sort of an odd one. Yeah, like you never quite knew why, but your parents always were sort of very much like the helicopter parents. They're always around. They're always keeping an eye on you. Anytime, any sort of sign of danger or anything like that, they would whisk you away at the shortest notice, and you never could quite work out why.
Or why there's such a thing as a helicopter.
A hummingbird parent.
Fine. But yeah, they're always around and always very quick to whisk you out of even the most provocacious sort of moment. Until sort of, yeah, like you're mid-teens and you start sort of expressing the desire to pick up a trade. And alchemy has always been, you've always been a sort of a, because they've always sort of whisked you away, you spend a lot of time with your nose in books, you're studying the sciences, or the owl sciences. You're basically like the concept of chemicals and mixtures and tinctures has always fascinated you. The mixing of two seemingly uninspiring liquids to create a fantastical solution. Like it's magic in its most magic-y form, as far as you're concerned. So when given the opportunity to take on an apprenticeship with the local alchemist, your parents, while sort of hesitant to see you go, sort of they vet this guy, but let you go under his tutelage, and that also involves you moving out of home into and basically living under this guy's roof, because it's long hours and travel time is a thing.
I learned how to use a doctor stick. You know the memes.
For the next little while, you are tinkering away under the tutelage of your apprenticeship master, which I'm sure you have a name for, because I'm not going to give him a name.
George.
It doesn't need a name.
It's a dream sequence. You know him. You don't need to name him.
George.
You
Doug.
you are basically like an apt student. You are capable of doing all the basic requirements of an alchemist. You can brew up black powder at a fairly easy easy mix. You can just about do it with your eyes closed. You can whip up healing potions at that out of even the most dried up and almost useless herbs. Like you're quite capable, and your mentor, your master, is always sort of watching from over your shoulder in sort of a mixture of sort of amazement and a little bit of shock, because some of the things you're doing shouldn't be possible. At one point, you are mixing up a batch of potions. It's unimportant which ones these are. This is a dream sequence, after all. But it is something that you're familiar with, but you know that it is a bit more of a difficult one. And you're working on this, and at one point you fumble, and you drop the vial to the ground. Okay, yeah, you drop this vial to the ground, and your master sort of like cops like a blast of like this powder into the face, and to the point where he's like holding his eyes and is like he's rushing blindly out of the room. And you go to try and like quickly like clean up this mess before it becomes like an uncontained chemical reaction, and you reach your hand out to try and sort of like clear some of the glass and so forth, and as you do, like the area just sort of clears itself. There's just an area of area around it.
As if it was prestidigitated away.
That's the one.
Or as if God did it.
But yeah, it's essentially like you have unintentionally cast prestidigitation.
Stop trying to make me worship your God. I'm just like slowly whispering, but like as you're dreaming, worship Mars, worship Mars. He's the light and the way. A red star cometh. Mars the Redeemer.
And you sort of like looking at this spill that is just no longer there anymore. Like it's been cleared up. Like there's a few fragments of glass, but like the actual spill of the chemicals that's been cleared up, and you're sort of picking as you're looking at your hand and looking at this space, and there's probably a good foot or so between each of them. You just see like across the back of your changeling hand, it's just like you're losing a little bit of control of maintaining your shape, because you're freaking out a little bit, and you can actually see the pulse of your heartbeat like pulsing through each of the veins in the back of your hand, to the point where like it's just like it's at the elasticity of your own makeup is extenuating the vision of like blood running through the back of your hand, and you're just like looking at that and just see your whole hand like pulsing with blood, and what you're beginning to sort of rationalize is there's something in your blood that is powerful.
Should probably get that checked out.
And then you wake up, and you're in a deck chair at the side of a lake beach, and it's sunny, and there are people around just enjoying the sunshine and the clear day. This has been the clearest day that you, Gnarlag, have seen in quite some time now, because you've been in Barovia in overcast days for a couple of months now.
I think at this point Gnarlag's going to try and cast a spell inside the dream.
Okay. You try and pull and sort of conjure up one of your previous warlock spells. Do you remember? Do you have your previous spell list?
I do actually have my previous spell list. Do you want to decide which one it is?
Yes, I'd like to have a look at the list. My suggestion: try one of the ones that you have, but you don't have. They have as a warlock, but you don't have as a sorcerer.
Right.
And just tell me which one at what level.
Probably just mage armor.
Mage armor?
Yep.
That's level 1, isn't it?
Yeah, at will.
Okay. You basically trying to summon up the power that your Golanak offers to you, and try and sort of like just bolster up your own physical form with mage armor. Instead, you feel your own sort of skin and everything stretch and warp and become a series of like dark tendrils that's like pouring out of your skin. It's like your own blood is molding within your your flexible form and forming these black tendrils. This is
Arms of Hadar?
this is the arms of Hadar.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a cream for that.
Thankfully,
Don't-
there's no one
Don't
around.
pick at it. Just don't. Whatever you do, don't pick at
Is
it.
anyone reacting to it?
Thankfully, there's no one within like the damaged area of this, and no one seems to be paying you any more attention than they were before.
Alright. I have new spells. I have... This is gonna take some getting used to.
You also notice a distinct absence, like almost one that you voice you pine to hear from.
Dave's, wouldn't it?
It's the one I'm alluding to, but it doesn't matter. This is what you would think, but you sort of try and reach out to Dave.
Yeah, why not?
And this would be the first time ever since meeting Dave that you've been completely devoid of any connection to him. Like, even when you had to renegotiate the deal with the Don to get Dave back, there was still like tendrils of connection, even though there was no tangible connection.
So, do sorcerers have familiars? Or is that just wizards?
Wizards and druids, usually. Think
Thankfully, there is a few things that sorcerers get that wizards don't, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're basically just like two different ways of doing the same character. But yeah, this is you distinctly miss him.
What?
Like he's been a companion of yours for
My poor boy.
more than a third of your life. I think you're sub 30, right?
He's 35.
35. Okay, so nearly a third of your life.
David. No.
Boy, no.
David. No.
David, no.
And yeah, you feel this loss, this absence keenly. It's like it's you feel it like a pain in your stomach, and you and that pain just starts getting stronger and more vicious, and then you sort of look down at like your front, and you just see this slowly pooling like ink mark through the white shirt that you're wearing, and it just like it starts pushing outwards. It's kind of like an ink stain that's spreading out, but it's coming from underneath your shirt, and then then it pushes through and actually starts pooling on the surface, and then bursts through your shirt. Like the shirt actually tears away, and there's just this disgorging of this ichor that pours out, and almost like a Tarantino style spurt of blood upwards, and then sort of drops limply down to the ground. and it sits on this warm sand underneath the sort of pleasant sunshine, and just sort of wiggles out its last as it dies on the sand.
I just give birth to a dead baby.
If you want to read it that way, you do you, boo. That is not what my intent was, though. But and that sort of purging moment, after that you feel unimpeded. Probably for the first time in quite some time, even before Gnarlag. This would be the freest you've felt possibly ever.
Like everything's been unblocked.
Like having a really big poop.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, you've just been to the toilet, and it's been really good.
But the entire time the Gnarlag has been your patron, you have been under his thumb and under his control, and you get this distinctive sensation that was not a one-way street for power. It feels like what he was giving you was in exchange for something else. You were losing something to him as he was giving something to you. But before that time, you were under the watchful eye of your mentor. And before that, the watchful eyes of your parents. And whenever anything weird, wonderful, or paranormal would occur, you would be whisked away to a sort of a safe place. Almost like this power's been with you the entire time.
Almost like your parents lied to you.
They've been
I
doping.
am a wizard. I'm going to Hogwarts.
The power was inside you all along. Like
The real magic was the friends we made along the way.
No, it wasn't.
No, that's not magic.
Turn around.
Yeah, cool.
And then,
Cool.
as you watch this formless black blob, dry up and dissolve into the sand, you wake up.
You
And you groggily open your eyes up, and you are looking around Babala Saga's hut.
magical murder hut.
About to watch a woman give birth.
You are looking at you are sitting in sort of this fairly old, pretty ragged, just like chair, like a wing chair sort of setup.
You don't feel like a dragon just threw you into that chair in any way, shape, or form. You feel like you were placed there.
You
nicely.
definitely feel like you were placed gently by some sort of caring individual. Definitely not thrown. But yeah, you are conscious. Talking is very difficult. Your mouth is currently full of the underside of your jaw is currently full of stitches. That is also holding a part of your tongue down while that heals back to the base of your mouth.
What form are you taking?
You feel your hands feel like they are in the thickest of gloves.
Probably going to try and take the base form at least. Go back to 0 while I regenerate.
Okay, Ulrich, you are inside and you see Gnarlag sort of awake with a start and make that whatever that fucking noise was. Probably spits up a little bit of like a glob of like congealed like blood that was in his mouth. That whole thing when you've had your wisdom teeth out and you just
Having had my tonsils out, it's
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
basically like that.
Here's a lollipop. Go on, lick on it. Lick it.
you are the
Lick
worst.
I like tries
Would
to
you
grab
like-
it with his giant mittens.
Let's play patty cake.
Such a dick.
But yeah, you're feeling worse for wear. You're not feeling great. But at the same time, probably in some respects, better than you felt before.
And at least you're
Like
not giving birth to a witch baby.
Thank goodness for small miracles.
Just like a raise of the eyebrow And then like, oh, okay, realization.
Yeah. We're about to give birth to a witch baby, so if you could like speed up your whatever this is and help, come on.
But yeah, he sort of like flops back into the chair and just like ripples slightly as like the hobgoblin. Oh, sorry, it wasn't hobgoblin. You're in a sort of a human form.
Yeah, it wasn't like human.
Foppish human form, right? And sort of wiggles away and then becomes like his amorphous grey shape.
Androgynous grey shape.
Some people are just lazy. I don't know to helping them.
Here's one thing that you do realize straight away. You have your mouth back. In your base form.
Now we can actually taste things properly. Little known fact, changelings have the most amount of taste buds and enjoy food the best.
I feel like the word fact there is an interesting word.
Fact for a
Tiefling
D&D.
truths.
I miss the tiefling truths.
Like in my little headcanon, that was why he chose Hobgoblin as his other base form, is because they also have super sensitive taste.
Hobgoblins, known for licking all the things.
Especially with their heads.
Okay. Back at Wyu. Not Wyu. Wick.
Hello.
Hello. You have a rather question-filled Rictavio in front of you, but it's like... Huh.
Look, I mean, really, I feel like this is a situation that is sort of flexible. It's sort of still in motion, sort of thing. So we can deal with it as a sort of as it comes up. But I feel like dealing like the Strahd situation. I feel is pressing, and we should deal with that. And more friends is better.
I'll give you that. More friends is definitely going to be more useful. But have you doomed us in the process?
Possibly.
Yes.
Mildly doomed. Maybe a little bit doomed. But I mean, we're already proper doomed. So I feel like maybe now we'll just be like marginally less doomed sort of thing.
Well,
we did hear. Look, listen. We did hear. We was talking to this guy I met when we were on the journey. You remember the skinny fella with the fire dog?
yes.
He was telling us all these stories about like the world ending if he can't get back to where he's from. So I feel like that's sort of part of the arithmetic of this as well. Like if he can't leave, he can't stop the world from ending. We're in the world, so it's a thing.
You've definitely presented me with quite the puzzle here, but
Well,
the deal has been made.
It has, yes. Yeah, I drank a thing and all. Yep.
I'm not entirely sure if that was entirely necessary, but okay. But
we should grab Ismark, and
Yeah.
I want to find that Coric fellow, and then we should head back to the.
and while you two are just conversing, you just see like this old woman just like walking along one of the roads along the crossroads, and just like gives you like a
Kill it, a witch! I mean, hello.
she sort of gives you like a nod,
Tips top robe.
gives you like like a nod, and then just like fires like a firebolt at a bat that's up in the air, and just like keeps on like hobbling along.
See, it's hard to argue with sort of results, right? Like that's fun.
You just see Rick Tavio's face, it's just like eyebrows like raised right up in solar confusion as watching her like hobble
Massive
along.
jaw drop anime face.
Like, did we doom Barovia to dominion by evil witches, or did we save the town today? Like, Oh
boy.
listen, secretly as well, like they're only getting like 1% of the babies born in Barovia, but if we sort of, defeat Strahd and bring down the mists, we can all just leave this godforsaken land. And then 1% of nobody is like, this is math and then divided by... It's like nobody.
Let's face it, some people are going to stay, but the 1% of fuck all is still fuck all.
I feel like it's...
We are the 1%.
Feel like it's a valid sort of approach. Do you know where that fella Ismark is? Because I think he's going to be an uncle soon.
Uncle Ismark.
A little bit warm. Wasabi Doritos while laughing through my nose was a bad plan. You could have timed that one worse. He was like, I last saw Ismark fighting up near the church, but let's rally who we need to. It looks like, as you say, the day is saved. Hurrah!
That's the spirit. We could do without the sarcasm, but we'll take what we can.
Onwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna defeat the vampire overlord.
Yeah.
I feel like we're lacking some essential energy sort of going into this.
He starts leading you up towards where some other parts of the fighting are. You cross paths with at least another 2 witches, who essentially give you a very, very similar sort of treatment. They sort of nod in acknowledgement and then continue on with what they're doing. They're following the orders that have been laid out by their matriarch.
Cool.
Several other villagers are just like in stunned silence watching the witches that were literally half an hour ago attacking them have now just turned and started attacking their former comrades. We're
looking at a new age of human witch cooperation.
And Rictavio's like following along with you. Is like, yes, the good men from Valaki and the outsiders have brokered a deal. Everyone.
Peace with the witches.
There shall be peace in Barovia.
Down with the fascist vampire oppressors.
Can't follow that energy.
Viva la revolution!
He can though. But Rictavio is basically, while not super fucking thrilled about this, is selling your plan to the masses because you need a combined front.
Yeah.
But 10 minutes on, you guys are meeting up with Ismark and who else was here? Ismark.
No, yeah, that was who we came with, and then
What
random.
happened to Irina's other brother, the one-handed guy?
We left him. He was getting a robot arm when we left.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah,
Robot.
Well, here's the thing. Ismark is going to be an uncle, and so technically...
Yep. Is he?
Yep.
Yep.
It's going to be a big, weird, unhappy family.
The royal family.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it by definition unhappy.
The paparazzi are going to have a field day with this.
It's like, Irina's having a baby, but who is the father? And by God, was he ugly?
Isn't it like a Doctor Who thing where like one of the royals was like, oh, they never take them out on full moons. Wait a second, they're a werewolf.
Yeah.
There's one where it goes back to it was Queen Victoria, I think.
Yeah. It's where they founded Torchwood.
Yeah.
Back when Doctor Who was still good.
I only found out recently that Torchwood was just an anagram for
Doctor Who.
for
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I had no idea. It was just, the working title when they were redeveloping the first season. Excellent.
It's weird.
It's good. It's cool.
It's cool.
I like it.
It's cool.
All right. You get to Ismark.
Hello.
It's like you made it back.
We did. We successfully listen. We broke into Strahd's castle, nicked things, and got out. How cool are we? Very cool.
And the rest of them.
Okay, listen. There's some new development sort of thing. We met Irina, your sister.
Right.
She
was looking after the villagers that weren't able to take up arms. They're in our home.
Yeah, they're still in the mansion. Irina is.
How is Irina?
She's
Go on.
embroiled in some weird magic power play right now. I don't fully understand it, but listen, congratulations.
I don't know what you're congratulating me for, but yes, we won the day.
You're going to be an uncle.
And
What?
Star Wife. I'm going to be a what?
Yeah, Star Wife.
Can we?
Can we?
Please?
Because it was just kind of wipes back in, and it's like Ismark is just like fucking strangling me. What did you do to my sister?
Yeah, because based on that definition, you've just impregnated her. So.
Hey.
Not even.
Didn't even have a shot.
All right.
Fill him in on what's going on.
That whole
We
conversation...
already did this once.
Yeah, we don't need to do this bit again. 'Cause I've got
I could. God knows I could.
God knows I could do it with exactly the same voice I did before. You go through a very, very similar sort of thing, except there's a lot more anger about the whole Irina part of things, and less anger about other aspects. But each have their own part that they're really quite annoyed about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's going to be ruling. He's going to be prince, maybe.
Sure.
Prince Regent. But the whole conversation is sort of punctuated, with probably an exclamation point, by the hut arriving.
Hey. This is our ride, fellas. Let's load up, I guess. I don't know. I was sort of thinking, does Ismark need to sort of hold the fort here? He probably wants to see his sister, I figured.
Show me to her.
Oh, cool. It's just up here. We just got to climb up onto this walking hut thing.
The roots have extended out like a ramp.
Yeah, it's cool. Just climb up.
And he's looking up this ramp at this sort of foreboding-looking little hut. And he's like, "You saying she's up in there?"
Yeah, that's like the witches' sort of base of operations, as it were. So they're sort of
He's
like
got quite the concerned look on his face.
Our allies now, and maybe don't fuck this up for us, because it was really hard to arrange this thing. And if you walk in there and are all die vile witches, you'll doom us all. So keep your shit together, Ismark. Maybe just a bit.
This whole conversation is just cut short by a long scream.
That's probably Gnarlag.
Really, really girly scream, so it's probably Gnarlag.
It's probably Gnarlag.
Yeah. He stops and just yells out Irina and charges up the ramp, sword in hand, charges up.
What did I say about being cool?
Gnarlag and Ulrich, you are in the room, somewhat guarded from the beautiful sight of childbirth.
The magical wonder of a witch baby tearing its way out of a human host.
I get towels and hot water because that's what you're meant to do during a
Does Gnarlag have control of at least his cantraps right now?
Yes.
Cantraps.
Cantraps, yes. Gnarlag starts to use shape water and just like gets like a constant stream of warm water to do whatever it needs to do.
Oh, well, he's got the water. I get the towels.
Yep. Okay. So, you guys are basically doing your bit to help out as any unnecessary male in a room where a woman is giving birth does. It's awkward. It's a little bit frantic.
Kind of just looking away and
it's
just
just
like keeping this
and
going.
really probably getting in the road more than actually helping.
I mean, for real though, if it's one thing witches can do, it is like midwifery. That's like
It's kind of their whole fucking jam. But
I'm like looking around going, this is as violent as my birth. Good go.
I had to crack my way out of an egg. This one did too. The egg is made of meat, though.
Yeah.
That whole scene is broken by Ismark slamming his way through the door. It's violently sort of shattered free of its hinges, and he is standing there.
How strong is Ismark?
Relatively, he's,
Okay.
he's quite a swordsman, but
He's a big boy.
He then sees the scene of a crone hunched over the top of his sister, who is screaming in pain.
I grapple him.
All right.
Settle down, mate. Settle down.
No, it's just a athletics roll, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use the die that doesn't roll shit.
The cheating die.
It didn't roll that well.
Well, I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, well, I'm not going to beat that. Cause
So he basically, like, you go to, like, grab him, and he just, like, shoulder
I
charges.
got to 16.
Yeah,
but,
he shoulder charges into your chest, and so it knocks you back enough where he manages to slip through your arms. The next line of defense is Gnarlag,
As a bonus
which
action,
is, by the way, I will remind you, is half stitches currently.
as a bonus action, I activate my shield.
Like, Gnarlag knows he can't really try and talk, but try to reach out psychically?
Yep.
Yep. You know, invasive thoughts. You can use a bonus action to create a telepathic link.
Yep.
So,
You got good psychic now.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got, which is basically like, it's almost like you basically do your telepathic talking that you've always been able to do, but it just seems better.
Yeah, like, they can
Like
talk
you-
back.
You make connection and you feel that connection maintain itself, where it's no longer a one way conversation. What do you say?
Good day, mate. Stop moving, right?
Oh, God. Oh, wow. Wow, really? Really?
Crikey.
You never heard Gnarlag talk in his base form before, have you?
True.
It's all got to be Bonza, mate. Just settle down.
Stone the bloody crows.
Oh, God.
You pack of galahs.
Chill the fuck out.
Flaming
I'll tell you what's
glass.
going on.
He's just sort of looking around for this voice. It's like, and then I don't know. Instinctively knows to talk back inside his head. He's like, "What is this sorcery? Get out of my brain, witch!"
It's actually sorcery.
Yeah.
Chill out, mate. It's me, Gnarlag.
Oh, God.
I both love and hate this simultaneously.
Now, I'll give you the deets. But first, you need to calm down.
You, without realizing, cast calm emotions.
Oh, goody.
Hey.
Yeah, because
Which he failed.
If you hadn't done that, I was about to do Conquering Presence, which was just me yelling at him, so...
Calm emotions is a 20-foot sphere.
Yes.
Everybody's real chilled out right now. You play some smooth jazz.
It basically it like bursts out of you.
I play the peace pipe.
You get out the spliff and just start passing it around.
Some Kenny G starts playing.
I mean, his human name was Whisper.
You hear that I
the lights just sort of dim a little bit.
the sort of the light sobbing that goes on between the screams that Irena's doing. That goes away. Babala Saga does. It's not careless whispers. It's silent.
It could have been a careless whisper.
Babala Saga passes, so she's just doing what she does. If you could do it as well, please.
So, do what? Sorry?
A wisdom save, I believe.
Oh.
I mean, I'm trailing along behind him after this. Do you want me to?
Sure.
Yeah.
What do I have to get to? Or is it, what's your...
You have to pass a 16.
16 charisma save.
I do pass it.
Charisma save. No, thank you.
I do pass it, but I'm going to choose not to, actually.
Okay.
So
So you chill the fuck out a little bit as well.
All right.
It's a real chill time right there.
I like what you guys have done with this place while I've been gone.
All right.
All right.
How big are Gnarlag's hands at the moment?
It's not that
Dude, how big are my hands right now?
it's not that they're actually big. It's just because the sensation that you've got in them is so sort of muted. You feel like you're wearing thick gloves.
They
But
can
it's
touch anything except themselves.
Because I'm like kind of going like the thing of like raising a thumbs up, but it's just a really big hand.
No, it's just they're basically your hands. So they're roughly the right size. They may be slightly misshapen in a couple of places as your body starts to re-establish the control. But because like you don't have full control and full sensation in there, it feels like they're like wrapped in cotton wool and they're thicker than they are. It's just like it's just the sensation is not translating from hand to brain.
Gnarlag just raises a thumbs up then.
Dude.
But yeah, Ismark sort of just like stops short and is talking back to you is like, what is going on? Speak now, weird voice.
Wait, so your theme is going to be calming people, and as opposed to my theme of just frightening the shit out of everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
in a certain sort of way.
He's got some other shit that's fucking buck wild.
Oh yeah, I got loads of shit now. I have.
I like that you gave yourself polymorph where you can't do it on yourself.
Yeah, but you know,
You can turn people into frogs.
I got twin spell now.
Oh yeah.
We can have 2 T-Rexes.
Anyway, his question stands as like weird voiced witch person.
It's me, Gnarlag. Sorry. It's me, Gnarlag.
Oh, I was about to go. Where'd the other guy go?
You know, the hobgoblin. Chill out. This is how I look normally. Now, to tell you the truth, we had a whole deal. Stuff's going on. And I explain all of it.
Yep.
Because we've already been through 2 of these.
Yep.
And so that's what's currently going on. So your sister's giving birth. We're just going to let this happen. And then she'll be right as rain. Then we can go on. Sound good, Copper?
Thank you for the comment.
I love new Gnarlag.
I hate you so much.
I'm looking forward to going back to Gnarlag Classic because I think new Gnarlag is going to suck.
I hate you
High
so
fructose
much.
Gnarlag.
Just so much.
I want like a coterie of different Gnarlags for different occasions.
Got a bad feeling about suicide.
This ancient eldritch being just talks like an Australian.
I'm never healing you again.
Oh, I need to.
Hey, you can't hear him right now.
I need to. Look, a stingray can get me through the guts and they won't worry.
Bob's your uncle. I can't do a good Australian accent.
You really just got to fucking just make it slightly more nasal and just talk slightly higher.
Flaming glass.
There we go.
Yeah, that's
Spot on.
Bang on.
You got it. Bang on there, Cobber.
It's truth.
You're getting a fair shake of the sauce bottle there, mate.
You're a couple of roos short of the top paddock.
Look, we're not here to fuck spiders.
I love that.
Ulrich gets out his
love that
sword and
he
just,
just kills him.
stabs
Just
himself.
Kratos yourself through the stomach.
Yeah, and then just that's it. Yeah.
What you got to done that to yourself for then? What sort of mishap you done yourself? Anyway, enough of that shenanigans. Ismark, I was about to say holsters his sword, but that's not the thing. He sheaths his sword and walks sort of slowly over to Irina to the point where he can sort of peer over the top of Babala Saga's shoulder and sees that, yeah, she is in the full throes of childbirth.
See? She'll be right.
And he sort of goes into more like sort of protective panic mode and goes around and basically just like grabs one of her hands and just like lets her sort of like hold on to it and is there to support her through the process. Meanwhile, Rictavio or Rudolph, whichever one you want to refer to him as, is still outside. What the fuck is going on?
A lot is going on.
Could go looking for Korik.
You're easy. You do whatever you want.
Whatever. People just want to sit down and just put on some records or something.
Yeah, listen to some reggae.
Yeah.
Buffalo Soldier.
One love.
That's it. Okay. What are we doing?
I'm
How long
thinking.
does the spell last for?
It lasts for 1 minute, but if the DM rules otherwise, like they can cease. Like, if the DM rules it so, they can cease hostilities altogether.
Yeah, it's like calm down the situation. It's not like it wears off and they're instantly back into.
It was more like how
I imagine if you
calm
did
will
it
this
on the
birth
Hatfield
be as
McCoys,
opposed
it
to...
would be exactly that. It would be like
Motherfuckers!
I'm gonna kill you, Hatfield. Fuck you, McCoy.
You don't know anything more about the Hatfield and McCoys, do you?
Nope. I know two of the names and they're fighting a lot.
If it affected the baby, then hopefully this will be an easy birth. Whereas before that, I would be worried that the thing was going to like claw its way.
It'll
out of the
literally
mother.
fucking shred him.
Yeah,
Like, give birth and immediately start talking in a deep baritone.
yeah. But hopefully now that it's been calmed,
is the most disturbing development.
Hello, mother.
Boy. Wick's probably like, I'm not really necessary for this next step. I'm not a sort of
As you
child.
hear a new, fresh scream start to take over as the next contraction kicks in.
I'm not really a childbirth sort of person, so maybe I'll just leave you to it and I'll just sort of.
yeah, I'm not sure how much use I'm going to be here.
The old hag Lasaga is like, actually, if the unimportant members in the room could vacate momentarily, that would be...
We all stand completely still.
No, Wick is.
Yep, I'm out.
Yeah.
Bye.
I mean, you and I used to like birth by eggs, so
He's human.
I'm human.
you're part raven.
All right. Look, that's fair. But like also Ismark is there to like sort of protect her now, so that sort of changes
Yep, the
the
dynamic of the room.
yeah. Right, we should probably find that
Yeah,
nice Korik fella.
Let the uncle deal with this.
Yeah. I'll find Rictavio and
Who
like
was
this,
just basically like down at the thing. He's like, the hell is going on?
This
Who
is-
the fuck are you? How did you agree to this godforsaken plan? I thought you were a paladin of the light. What the fuck are you? I've said that before. Answer me, blob man.
it's that's Gnarlag. That's
Not Gnarlag. That's some sort of plasticine wrapped into a man shape.
it's what he looks like when he's not.
I'm sort of
You're enjoying this character, aren't you?
I'm sort of channeling fucking the Democracy Manifest guy a little bit.
Mage hand.
Get your hands off my penis! What? Have you not seen the video? It's fucking ancient. It's great.
I thought you were doing like Jay from the end of Dogma, where he's like, "What is that thing?
What happened to that
chick's head?
What the fuck happened to that guy's head? The Democracy Manifest guy is so good. It's like, Arrested me for what? Enjoying a succulent Chinese meal? I fucking love that guy. He's great.
Okay.
Have you not seen the video?
No.
It's from like the fucking late 70s, early 80s. There's a guy getting arrested for basically dining and dashing.
Okay.
We'll watch this after the thing because it is fucking great. He's also in the. Are you familiar with the Chats? That Australian punk band that are really fucking kicking off really hard right at the moment. They're basically they're doing like English style punk, like Sex Pistols style punk, but with real ochre Australian themes. Like the one's called like Pub Feed because they're going to go down to the pub and get a fucking pub meal. The latest one is them basically doing a dine and dash, and at the end of the episode, they have the guy from that Democracy Manifest video, but like him now, just doing a whole little skit at the end. It's fucking great.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
So, mage hand, like just a single finger onto the mouth.
and it's here's the thing: it's a mostly formless hand as well. Like it is very much mimicking your one at the moment. It like has no defining features.
Hey, I thought she took your magic away. What's going on here? That's weird. Alright, he's not really talking at the moment. I think he's had some mouth surgery as it was, so, you know.
No, like tilts his head up and points to the scars and just be, or like points to the stitches.
Yeah, alright. Don't say anything. No, shut up. Don't try and talk. I mean it. Just keep quiet. Gross.
like this congealed blob of blood just like limply falls out of your mouth when you like do that thing. It's like
Now that we have the whole group here, what about the abomination? Oh, okay. What about the abomination that has been part of our group for a while?
Oh, yeah, the thing with the eyes. Has he still got the thing with the eyes?
No, you didn't die. You're quite alive.
for the record. If you're gonna do
Yeah,
that, just
yeah.
say
I
that you
should
do
be
that
voicing
because
it,
this
yeah.
is an audio medium
Yeah,
and miming is not going to work.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Gnarlag did the whole fingers across the neck.
Which is really evocative right now because for two reasons. One, you currently have a big gash across your neck.
Yeah.
And two, that doesn't really make sense for Dave because he didn't have a neck.
Yeah.
Gnarlag sort of agrees with a shrug and.
But as you can see, you are alive. So, yes, your neck was cut. Yes, we can see that. I'm glad that you've.
So
You've
no more
noticed that.
no more David.
Gnarlag uses minor illusion to spell out the words "Dave is dead."
Oh.
Dave is dead. Everyone's dead. Dave is dead. Dave.
Yeah.
Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not here, man.
They're all dead, Dave. Dave, they're all dead.
Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. Dave. Everyone's dead. Dave.
Everyone's dead, Dave. Dave, everyone's.
Are you trying to
I was literally
everyone's
watching.
dead?
Literally started rewatching Red Dwarf recently because it's up on Stan.
Yeah. So.
Cool. All right. Well, let's go and find the big.
So you're telling
Burning
me
dog
this is Gnarlag,
That's Gnarlag, isn't it?
but it looks nothing like Gnarlag.
Well,
what
he-
happened? Did he get burnt?
Yeah, he did. That definitely happened. I did blow him up before, but he got better after that.
Did he?
Minor illusion. Yes.
Then he died, but then we got better.
Like, a lot's happened, really. I mean,
I should note every time you see Gnarlag cast a spell, the temperature, like the ambient temperature, just drops by a degree.
Gross.
Yeah.
He is the one-man solution to global warming.
Very slow.
That's my joke. That's not good.
Yes, it's what it looks like. Didn't you know he was a changey facey man?
No!
Well, it was a change. He's been a changey. We weren't hanging out with a hobgoblin. That's ridiculous.
Spells out the words.
Terrible creatures.
Why do you think a hobgoblin was in Barovia?
I mean, that doesn't really say much. Why is a changeling in Barovia? That's sort of neither here nor there, really.
Look,
Why does anyone come to this shithole of a place?
He can
Filthy.
transcend.
Thematically appropriate for me.
And he He in frustration, he
I'm
takes his
completely
hat
on
off.
brand.
Look,
In frustration, he takes his hat off to sort of wipe the top of his brow, and then realizes that he's
No longer.
disguised as a bard shifts away to his actual form, which is more of a middle-aged, I believe, human, if I'm right.
Human man.
And he's like, ha.
See, I mean, you're not really one to be casting aspersions
look,
about the whole shapeshifty thing with your...
he
No, like just cocks
can
an
change
eyebrow.
into anything. He can change you into
You
a
don't even
raven.
have an
You
eyebrow.
can change into
I imagine it's a
whatever
whole
you can change
alopecia sort of
into.
thing.
What about any of this is weird? He changes into ravens. He changes into other things, and you're whatever. And I can shoot lightning. It's all whatever.
And I can turn into a storm cloud, he says. He's like,
One
Ah.
of these things is not like the other.
and he's like, well, I guess this is a awkward moment then. Now he's in his German mode.
Germans.
No, I do get the shape shifting. It's very, very French German border.
Yeah.
Good. Good. This is good, yeah.
We will be asking the questions.
And he puts the hat back on again because I can't keep that thing going on. All right.
Now let's go and find the big fiery dog thing with the undead revenant guy. See, it's a weird day. Let's go.
The fucking what?
You met
Wait.
him before.
The one
The one
at
on
the
on
caravan.
that one, yeah, that guy. We're gonna grab him on before we head back. I think he's like he helped us and he seems to know things, so I think he could be a merry addition to our ever expanding war council, as it were.
Do you have any idea where he is?
Well, he gave us a lift here like yesterday, and he said he was gonna sort of draw off the attacking forces.
I'd say let's look for large amounts of flames. It's probably in that direction.
I will transform into a raven.
Yep.
Well, like I'll sort of like look around. Just everyone here is cool. Transform, sort of fly up, see if I can see like.
Okay, you fly up, and to the eastern side of the sort of the area that the clearing that leads up to the Barovia town, there is like a small sort of like forest fire taking off, and this is off towards the eastern gates into Barovia. So,
I'll swoop back down, land on Ulrich's shoulder, and sort of like point my beak in that direction and be like, "Caw, caw."
you heard the man. He said, "Gore, let's go. Find your ghost fire dog guy."
We do that.
I'm going to summon
Horsey.
Horsey.
Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash, come to me now!
Why? Why any of this?
How many? Well, I suppose if I try and fit 3 people
Put it
on
in
the
your
horse,
wagon.
it's not going to ride very quickly.
I'm gonna paint my wagon.
But it should still be able to ride.
He's also got 2 horses attached to his wagon.
Yeah.
Oh well, then let's get your 2 horses and go off.
Like it's a little clearing where the fucking the house is, right? Can we put the wagon up on the clearing next to the house so it can
I thought the wagon was already like parked in the.
Barovia?
I thought it was parked in the mansion. Well, near the mansion.
It would be near the mansion.
No, we left it outside of town.
It was
Yeah, we wouldn't have. Yeah, no, we did. We left it outside of town because we had to run.
no, it's parked in the area near the inn, which is in the center of town, which is actually not that far from where you're at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I figured.
Oh,
I know we left it in
that's right.
town
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
we took the boats out to where we were and
Yep, just had to go back a few sessions there to remember where we were at.
I hope my horses are okay.
I've been cared for by the
eaten by the birds.
Eaten by the
left behind
werewolves.
to be eaten by rats. No, it's
Healthy rats. Find some big rats. Tie your wagon to those.
so it was an old thing from an old D&D group or old RPG group, and it's like if we ever left anyone behind, they would just be like left behind to be eaten by rats. I'm like, oh come on. We had no choice. We had to go. But they got eaten by rats. No, the barman, the guy who is not particularly chatty because he is soulless,
Ah, yes.
he's still a functional human being. He can still go and do his job. It's just not exactly a brilliant conversationist. So you're not going to have a conversation about philosophy with him. Yeah. Each of you, I'm assuming you want to stay flight form? Car. Then as
Stay on my shoulder and, we'll take Rainbow Dash.
So you've got your shoulder, your horse. You can grab one of your draft horses, and Rictavio/Rudolph can grab the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And you make a clip towards the eastern side of the Barovian clearing. And I know we're probably a little bit. It's going to be a slightly earlier finish.
Actually, it takes 10 minutes to cast the Fine Steed.
That's fine.
But, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. But you
Take them 10 minutes to go and unbridle those horses.
Yeah, true. Yep.
And get them saddled up and ready to go. Yeah, but I think we will finish that up for today at that point because I think we've got a whole bit with Korik and so forth, and we should make it a bit more of a longer bit.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's this week's episode of the Sunday Sessions. You can email the crew at isolatedcitygaming@gmail.com, follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Isolated City Gaming, and if you like what you hear, tell a friend. We're available across a lot of platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and on YouTube. Just search for Isolated City Gaming or the Sunday Sessions. Catch you out there.